Uh, yeah. So NASA contacted me, right, and they were like, "Yeah, well, we can't come and get you, because we're doing our yearly breakdancing competition on the moon. So they've left Neil deGrasse Tyson in charge down there, and he's fucking useless. So there's pretty much no chance of me being saved right now. So I'm kind of stuck up here on the ISS. I do suggest that you keep sharing the stream when they're back from the competition, and they clear up the mess that Bill Nye's made. Then maybe they get around to saving me. Who knows? It's boring up here. We're just going round and round and round.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE, and welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what veganism is doing to bees. I'm all for saving the planet and stuff, guys, but this isn't the way to do it. Um, yeah, if you want to eat almonds, then bees die. If you want to eat, your all your lovely almond, drink your almond milk. This is the bees that are dying. If you want to, have your avocados on toast, it's killing all the bees. And no bees, no plants, no food for anybody. So get off your moral high horse and look at the bigger picture, please. Anyway, hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of giving Craig as much brain damage as possible. For some reason, I guess I hate myself. I don't know. Before we get started, I have to give my apologies to Astronomy Live because I double booked and I was actually supposed to be on a stream with him right now, talking about Gleam's abuse of the copyright system and others, and I forgot. Well, I didn't forget. I double booked. I thought the thing with Astronomy Live was tomorrow, so I apologise, Astronomy Live, for double booking, and I promise we will get that stream done. But I'm really sorry because I suck apparently. Tonight we are going back into the asylum. It was fun last time, a lot of dirt, but this time Harp and Sin Cleanser are both there, and I'm sure you've seen them on MC Tunes, and so yeah, this is going to hurt my brain. I hope everyone's having a lovely day, because it's about to get a lot worse. Let's pop over to the Discord server of Derp and see what is going on. I should press some buttons and it might work. Give me 2 seconds.
He's a great teacher, though. I'll give
Biggest
you that.
asshole in here.
Everybody.
Uh-oh, is that the man himself? Everybody,
I
go
am,
on mute
yes.
or we'll ban you.
Oh, someone's dying. Do you need a spare lung?
With an iron lung.
I think I might.
Yeah.
Speaking
That's
of
just really
health
good
conditions,
shit
how
we
you been, Fight the Flatter? You been okay, bud?
I'm good. I'm trying to stay away from electrocutions, so that's always fun.
Well, you weren't you like a nuclear sub operative somehow or whatever?
Yeah, I was nuclear engineer in the Navy, yes.
It is a bizarre circumstance that you were the stove thing. That is a bizarre incident.
Shit happens.
Well, you know, you talk to if you talk to Globers and these engineer type people, it's like you think they would know better, but you know, accidents happen. I get it.
You think I would know better than to try and turn something off when it was sparking, which is, you know, the thing that I was trying to do.
Are you familiar with path of least resistance?
Yeah, I became that path, which I didn't expect to be the case.
He became the
That
path.
was funny. I became the path. That was
Yes.
great.
I am the way, the truth, and the light.
Well, you must have
Nobody
made
gets
a
shocked by
mistake.
the stove, but through me. I'm sorry, it's not something to laugh about. But
Me and my wife laugh about it, so it's fine. You know, I try to kill myself at least once a month. It's kind of a regular thing.
well, you and Harp have something in common already. Then, wow, isn't that right?
Is
We
that
think you do that to raise money.
Well, I try and kill
Wait a
myself.
second, Sinclancer, aren't you the guy getting smashed drunk every single day?
Ed, relax, Ed. All we're saying is that this is, you know how Nathan Oakley, his computer always breaks down.
Yeah, and speakers break and stuff. Yeah, that happens quite often with him.
So the stove incident wasn't like Nathan Oakley getting his computer hacked or whatever.
No, because I didn't then start a GoFundMe for a new stove.
Well, that's your loss.
I just bought
That's
an air
just
fryer
that's just
instead.
you not taking advantage of the situation. Never waste you know, an opportunity.
Well, why would I? I mean, no one's responsibility but my own to buy stuff for myself, you know.
Hey, okay, so sorry, we're all just, you know, getting together here. Is do you know if MC Toon's going to be joining you, or is it just going to be
Probably
you?
not tonight. That
World.
I'm aware of. I could give him a message and see if he wants to join, but you know, I don't need backup.
Well, we don't want you to feel like you're at any sort of disadvantage. You are
There's not
talking
enough
to
of
some
you
of the
here to
most
put me at a
capable flat
disadvantage.
earthers on the internet right now, so I just don't want you to feel
Capable-
unarmed.
Wait, capable flat earthers? There's
Yeah, we
Capable
carry the
of
torch
what?
for flat Earth, and the wisdom of flat Earth is something we champion here. So we don't
there is
want you
no
to feel
wisdom within
unarmed.
flat Earth. Yeah, I've got 2 arms. I'm fine.
Okay, so are you ready to go? You ready to
I was born
get
ready.
educated?
Sorry, am I ready to be educated? I do. Like, I live my life with the philosophy of I try to learn something new every day. That doesn't happen when I talk to you people.
Okay, well let's just demonstrate that we will educate you. We will formally educate you. So, what evidence of Earth curve do you have? Let's just get it going. Kick it off with a nice softball here.
The measurement of the curvature of Earth, the fact that the globe that I hold in my hand, which is 1 to 125 million scale replica of our planet, has an accurate representation of all the countries and the sizes of the countries, the distances between the countries, and it matches real life data for traveling and everything. It's the only accurate representation, and it happens to be a sphere. The fact that pilots plan their routes using the Vicenti formula, which take into account the curvature and the oblateness of the Earth.
Okay, slow down.
I mean, there's many things.
I know. You're locked and loaded. You
How
said
many
you have a
Adderall did you
ball
take
in front of
today?
you. You have a globe.
I don't take Adderall. This is just a conversation I've had. I mean, this is what 716 or what day is it? Yeah, this is 716 debate. So yeah, I've done this a few times. So
So fight the fire. Do you have a globe in front of you?
I've got one in my hand.
Okay, can you, I'm not watching your stream right now, but can you on that globe show us how to measure curvature?
Well, I could take a tape measure and put the tape measure from one point to another. And then
Okay, so
I
how would you measure the curvature?
Well,
Can you do
this
that for us right now?
Well, I would put a tape measure across the surface of the globe, which is curved, right? And I could say, put it from one side of Africa, Senegal, to the other side of Africa, just by the Red Sea. And I could measure that in centimeters, including the curvature of the tape measure on top of it. And then I could times that by 125 million and find out that it accurately represents the correct distance between those 2 points that I've measured. And then I could do that at any point on this globe. Any 2 points, I could put a tape measure. And
where did you get the 125 million? You
Because
threw me off.
the globe in my hand is a 1 to 125 million scale model. So,
How did you determine that?
Because that's what it is. It's, the size of the globe is 125 million times smaller than the Earth.
Is that something you just expect me to believe, or can you prove that somehow?
Well, the
Because
radius
we're
of the
looking
globe,
for proof,
the radius
and
of
we're
the
looking
globe
for
is
measurement.
X, and the radius of the Earth is X. So I'm just showing you how this represents reality, and you can use basic measurements to check that it represents reality, right? All you need to do is these things. Whether you believe that it's 125 million to 1 or not, I can represent reality with this. I can choose any 2 points on this globe, put a tape measure across it, including that curve, measure what the tape measure says, times it by 125 million, and then look at that data and find out that it accurately represents the distances between those 2 points in reality. I've done this live with this globe many times during debates.
Okay, I got you. So you got the globe, you got the tape measure, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And how does the tape measure show you the curve?
Because it's sitting on a curved surface.
Yeah, no, that's not. Okay, I get that you
When I
put a
put
tape
the
measure on a
on
ball.
the globe, is it or is it not on a curved surface?
Okay, so how much curve is there?
H equals R times 1 minus cos A. That would be the exact curve on any sphere at sea level.
That sounds like a formula. It doesn't sound like a measurement.
It's a formula to give you the measurement between 2 points, and it would work for.
Okay, so can you measure how much curvature is on that globe right there?
Yeah, by using that formula.
Okay, so can you do that for us right now?
I don't have the tape measure with me right now.
So you can't measure Earth curvature even if you had a globe right in front of you and you had a tape measure. You can't even use the formula to demonstrate.
I can measure the amount of curve. I can measure.
Okay, so can you do that for us? I'm asking for a live demonstration.
I just don't have the tape measure with me this very second. If you want a live demonstration, just go back and look at previous debates that I've done where I've shown that.
No. Fight the fight. You have a real opportunity here to measure the curvature of a globe right before us, and we'll give you all the formulas. We'll give you the measuring tape, and you have a real education opportunity to demonstrate how to measure curvature. If you want to see that
live, then you can just go and look at one of the past debates.
You can do it right now. Why do you limit yourself?
I don't have the tape measure on me right now.
So you can't measure Earth curvature. You can't measure the globe right now. You can't measure curvature.
I don't have a tool to measure it right now. So at this very second, I cannot because I do not have a tool to do it. But I could do if I had that tool.
So you coulda, woulda, shoulda, but you can't, right?
Well, yeah, because I can't magically make things appear in my hands. Let me just try 1 second. I'll just get this. Accio tape measure. Nope, sorry, it didn't work. I must be a muggle. My bad.
No, I think we can. I think that pretty much sums up the entire debate. You can't measure curvature.
If I've got the tools, I can.
Even if you had a globe in your hand, even if we gave you the formula,
I have tools,
and even if you could find a look under your couch. I really want you to measure the curvature.
It's not in this
you have
room,
an opportunity.
And I can't be asked to leave this room right now.
But we can give you a break.
I could make
grab some water.
Yeah, I
get some
don't
water.
Need permission. This again, if you want to see it,
you don't want to measure curvature.
I've done it before, so no, I don't want to do it right now because I've done it many times before. It's boring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I interject?
Yeah, go ahead. Who is it? Lightwater. Go ahead, Lightwater.
That was really bad argumentation there, Sin Cleanser.
We're just kicking it off, bro. Relax.
You don't have a tape measure.
Settle down.
Fantastic.
I just want to know if you can measure Earth curvature. Go ahead, Lightwater.
FTFE. Why do you let go of the tape measure in the case of a black swan or those kind of observation? why do you let go of the tape measure in the case of black swan or equal observations?
Well, a tape measure doesn't have an ability to measure refraction, so I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but if you want to prove a curve, you don't take anything else in consideration.
Well, no, you have to take everything into consideration. Actually, to not take things into consideration would be
but
dumb.
my point is, when Flat Earth comes up with some evidence or
Misunderstandings, not evidence. Yeah. Like the entire black swan is a misunderstanding.
What
of
I
even
want
the
to
black
point
swan
out,
argument.
FTFE,
What?
is that I'm not always equal in understanding with other flat earthers, but the fact that you want to use the tape measure exactly according to the orthographic side view.
That wasn't
Always
orthographic.
when
3D spheres aren't orthographic. I don't know why you would say that.
certain observations. That is what Ruif always does, and what you follow.
Yeah, I'm not Ruhif, and I'm not using orthographic observations. So
And
I
what
mean,
you
are you
follow-
maybe in a different argument? I'm not sure.
I made my point.
You didn't, to be fair. You said some words, and they were definitely all words, but none of them made a coherent sentence or a point at all. If we want to talk about the black swan, the problem is that flat earthers don't even understand the black swan argument. The evidence of a black swan does not disprove the existence of what I will stereotype you because you're all pretty dumb. But the evidence of a black swan does not disprove white swans existing. All it means is we now have to explain both black swans and white swans. And if we take that in the context of the flat earth argument of, oh look, we can see the horizon doing things it can't do, that being the black swan that we now have to explain, that's very easy to explain because refraction is a thing.
Yeah, we don't disagree with that. So you strawman us by saying we don't account for refraction.
Well, you don't account for it. Well, I mean, you account for your version of refraction.
No. Hold on. Settle down. What we're saying is that when we look at something on the horizon, it's not going over any Earth curvature. We account for refraction within the argument.
The horizon is a result of Earth's curvature.
You guys have only ever said that the boats go over the horizon. And we have demonstrated with the black swan argument that it's an optical effect of light in
Well, no, because things still go over the horizon.
Right?
Things still go over the horizon, whether there's refraction or not. You know, they will still go over the horizon. That, you know, refraction doesn't stop that happening. Can refraction I'm still talking. Can refraction make things seem further away than they should be and make the horizon seem further away than it should be? Yes, absolutely. Everything we see at sea with boats doing what they do and oil rigs doing what they do matches the predictions of refraction on the globe.
Okay, well, first off, you don't have any measurements. You don't have any data for any of those claims.
Yes, we do actually. We
studied
refraction for many years.
Now you're
and you could go. Okay, that's
You're
fine. I like to.
now.
If you want data regarding refraction, you could start with Newton, who kind of originally did it. Then you could go to the current.
Newton killed himself because his idea sucked. He was a drug addict and he overdosed.
Yeah, cool. It doesn't matter. He still did. It doesn't matter.
He was a drug addict who killed himself because his idea sucked.
Doesn't matter. He still had excellent ideas, and refraction.
Well, he was a drug addict, and you listen to drug
addicts. Doesn't matter if he was a drug addict. Most people in those days were drug addicts. It's fine. So that's fine.
So you can't measure the globe. You listen to drug addicts.
You can measure the globe.
You
can measure the globe. I don't know why you would say you can. You can measure the globe. It's very easy to measure the globe. I showed you how to measure the globe. You denying it is fine. I know that you're opposing.
You can't do it even if we gave you all the formulas. We gave you the globe.
You can. It's actually quite easy.
You couldn't do it.
I could if I had the tape measure. It was impressive.
I've never had a glober just demonstrate their inability to measure curvature.
And I told you exactly how to do it. Okay, you know what? If you're going to gaslight me, all right, okay, you're just getting muted for gaslighting. Let's move on to someone who's interesting.
You're done.
Yeah, so he's obviously a Poe, is just interested in gaslighting the conversation, so let's move on to somebody else who actually wants to have a debate. I see Harp here. How you doing, Harp?
Oh my God, you got your ass whooped bad. My God.
Do Is attempting to gaslight me whipping my ass? Is ignoring the
was
things
just
that I say
thinking the
whipping my
same
ass?
thing.
No, not in the slightest. Does anybody want to actually, try and have a conversation instead of just going, haha, you didn't do something when I literally told you how to do it and where to find it being done? Next.
You are just
Hey, since I was here last week, have any of you managed to find that, accurate flat Earth map represents all the countries? I'm just wondering.
you are just
Anyone?
like, like me. You are just using words.
What's the last map you drew about on the globe? What's the last globe map you made there, Flatter? Fucking fight the Flatter.
The last globe map I made. Well, I'm not a globe
when did
maker,
you
so
go
I
out
don't
exploring the
make
fucking
globes or maps myself. Oh, when did I go out into the world? When I was in the
exploring
Royal Navy and I travelled to every continent on the planet.
Why didn't you make some maps, some global
Because
maps?
I wasn't a map maker, I was a nuclear engineer, Harp. That would involve going to school, something you wouldn't understand.
Ah, I see.
Yeah,
This is what you do. So I
Point
ask
out
you
facts,
legitimate
yes.
questions, and you tell me about me going to school or some shit.
What was your legitimate question?
Is that how you work?
What was did I miss your legitimate
Here's the
question?
thing,
Do you want to
right?
try that again?
I have no.
What was your legitimate question? Anyone? Harp? Maybe I missed your legitimate question, Harp. Do you want to...
So you weren't listening to me, right?
No, I mean, maybe I missed your legitimate question.
Oh,
Could you ask
exactly,
the legitimate question again for me?
You think I want to do this? You got to be kidding me.
No, I'm just saying, maybe I missed it. And as a conversation to work, maybe sometimes things need to be reiterated. Could you please reiterate your legitimate question for me?
I think it was a statement, wasn't it?
Well, no, you said it was a question.
Statement, question, whatever. As soon as I
Which was it? Was it a statement or a question? I'm not sure. I'm confused
It doesn't
now.
matter. The point was how you just attacked me personally instead of just listening at all. What I said. That's what the point was.
Did you go to university?
There's like no talking to you. I can tell.
I'm trying to talk to you right now.
I'm not,
kind of making it difficult.
going to allow you. I'm not going to allow you to piss me off.
I mean, it's probably going to happen. To be fair, you're just going to have to accept that.
Yeah, it's not. I'll just stop talking.
I mean, I've done it already. Honestly, it wasn't that hard. But anyway, what you were asking me something about, what was it? Have I made a map? What was the question? I just want to clarify.
That's the last time you made a map of the globe.
Yeah, I'm not a map maker, so I've never made a map myself.
So you just believe what you're told.
No, I've tested it.
You've tested your maps, really?
Yes, I've tested the globe measurements. Absolutely, I
Are
did
you a
that in the Royal
pilot?
Navy. Sorry?
Are you a pilot?
I piloted a submarine as part of my training.
So you were under the water. You couldn't really see where you were at, right?
Yeah, but we have navigation aids. We know where we're going.
Right. Okay.
Gravity
So
is one
when's
of
the
the
last time
navigation
you-
aids.
Gravity.
Did you not know that submarines actually navigate using gravity? That's an interesting that you didn't know that.
I've never heard gravity subs. This is a new one.
Did you not know that military submarines in general use gravity for navigation? Did you not know this?
Use
You're gonna have to explain that one.
Oh goodness,
they
it's
use
amazing that you guys don't know it. When
Globers
you
come up with
argue
the
against
wildest
gravity.
stuff. I've never heard
I didn't
these
come up with
arguments
this.
ever.
It was the engineers that built.
Globers say
and
the
designed
wildest
it.
stuff. You're gonna have to walk us through that one. How does gravity navigate a sub?
Easily. It's called gravity anomaly navigation, and it uses the variations in Earth's gravitational field and extremely sensitive accelerometer array around the submarine to detect those changes in the gravitational field to, in real time, map the surface of the sea floor. So, for instance,
You said accelerometers?
Yeah, let me explain. So, for instance, if a submarine comes upon an underwater mountain, okay, and they are going over that underwater mountain, that means that there is more mass underneath them, right? And the accelerometers in the submarine will react to the fact there is more mass underneath them by having more force applied to the weights on the accelerometer, increasing the pressure on the string.
That's
and
just relative density.
That is registered. Yeah, okay, we get there. That is registered in the submarine, in the computer, and it maps the anomalies in real time. There's no way that relative density can do that because this is an enclosed system. It's not touching.
There's another
else.
term apart from relative
It's like a
density that
fish
I'm
finder.
gonna
All it
use
is
on
is
you.
An advanced fish finder.
You know what I'm gonna
Oh,
use?
yeah.
I'm gonna use another term besides relative density, and you're gonna get hit hard
What
with
is
this
it?
Are
one.
you going to tell me that fish finders use gravity to find fish? Because that, all that is an advanced
Fish finders
finder,
aren't submarines. So try. Anyway, what were you gonna po about there, Sin Cleanser?
Volumetric pressure.
Yeah, that's nothing to do with how submarines navigate.
You don't think a submarine has anything to do with pressure? And the
Not
volume
not
of water
not
above
the
it has
gravity,
no effect on the accelerometer?
Not the literal
Huh?
gravity anomaly set. Thing.
Don't
No.
spiral in front of me. I won't hear it.
Spiral.
Now,
Right.
address the claim.
Stop the gaslighting. There's nothing. Pressure would not change above it as it goes.
Yes, it
over
would.
an
There's more
underwater
water
mountain.
above the submarine than below it.
Yeah, and
Right?
if it will. Okay, so and it's just
That's
traveling.
the volumetric. The volume of the water is pressing.
Stop talking. So it's
You got
traveling.
wrecked again.
It's traveling at, say, 20 meters under the water, and it's staying at 20 meters under the water without changing depth. It will still be able to detect the differences in the mass underneath it without any change in the pressure of the water around it. It is literally reacting to a gravitational
Okay,
field.
prove it.
Prove that. How would you like me to prove it? In what way? Would you like me
You're
to
making a
present-
claim and it does this and that, upside down and
Yeah,
left and
I've
right,
worked with these
underwater and the
systems.
gravity.
Yeah.
Just prove
I
it.
could-
it's not that
And how?
complicated.
And okay,
You're
what
gonna
is
make
your-
these claims.
What is your standard of evidence?
As a scientist, I would request that you prove this.
You are not a scientist, and I'm not a scientist.
I'm speaking for science when I asked you to prove
No,
your
you're not. You
unscientific claim.
you're not speaking about.
You can't prove it.
for science.
Okay, well that's jot that
I'm
down.
asking you a
Add that
question.
to the list.
What is your standard of evidence?
My standard of evidence is that you can have evidence for anything.
That's
Evidence
not a,
in and
that's
of
not a
itself
standard of
doesn't
evidence. What
mean
is
proof.
your standard of evidence?
Do you agree that you can have evidence for anything?
That don't try and answer my question. With
No,
another
I'm trying to
question or
relate
change
to
the
you. I'm
subject.
trying to have a discussion with
Answer
you.
my question. What is your standard of evidence?
Reality.
That's not a standard of evidence. Try again.
Reality is not the standard of evidence. Are you kidding
That's
me?
not something that is
You're
the
gonna
standard of evidence.
pigeonhole
Try
yourself
again.
if you don't slow down, man.
That's not a standard.
you're
of
right,
evidence. Maybe you need to
but
research.
listen.
Maybe you need to research the team's
Slow down.
term standard of evidence.
We can talk about it.
No, we can talk about it when you answer my question. What is your standard of evidence that you will accept?
Reality is my standard of evidence.
Yeah, well, reality is that submarines use gravity to navigate, and I have personally used that system.
Cool claim. Prove it.
Would you like me to show you the papers around the military research? I can do that.
No,
That's
those
fine.
are just words. I don't want to hear just words. I want you
Okay,
to scientifically demonstrate that you can have any sort of proof and reality of your claim.
Well,
You can't just say things on the internet. okay?
I've done it.
I've talked with
I've
a lot of
personally
you
done
guys.
it.
You guys just say stuff.
I've personally done it, and so have other people. Anyone that's ever been on
Okay,
a military
anecdotal
submarine does
evidence
this,
is not
right?
proof.
If you want to
If
get
you
that
were in
evidence
court-
yourself,
If you were in court, anecdotal evidence won't necessarily
This
hold
isn't court.
up.
This isn't court, so shush.
You're on trial. The
I'm not
globe is on
If you want-
trial.
I'm talking. Calm down. I know you're triggered, but just calm down. If you want to
Triggered?
get that evidence, yes, I know you're very triggered. If you want to get that evidence yourself, how about you go and join the military, become a nuclear engineer, go to
I
a
would never
the
do
T
something
class.
like that.
Oh no! So you don't want to get the evidence? That's fine because I've
No,
got
because
the evidence.
I wouldn't
and
join
I've
the
seen the
military. No,
evidence.
are you kidding me?
Right? I've joined the evidence. I've seen the evidence. I've worked with the evidence. It's not my
Anecdotal
fault that
evidence.
I don't know. It's not anecdotal.
Okay.
It's
You're
there.
sa- this
and
is like a
you
flat
are
earther
able to
saying
go and get
the
it.
earth is
Like,
flat
you're
because I
able-
saw it's flat.
stop
You
being
sound like a
triggered.
flat earther.
Calm down. Please stop being triggered. Right.
Are you
I
a
know.
flat
I
earther,
know
bro?
that you're scared to go and get the evidence yourself because it's there. You could go and get it.
You can have
could go
evidence
and
for
study
anything.
to
That
be-
was my whole point.
I'm sorry that the middle of my sentence interrupted the beginning of yours, Poe. That's very, very, very bad of me. So, again, if you want to go and get
Oh,
the
you should
evidence,
feel
it's
ashamed of
absolutely
yourself.
there.
Yeah.
Again, the
agree.
middle of my sentence it interrupted the beginning of yours. I'm so sorry.
Yes, and
Now,
you need to apologize.
If you would
Chewy,
like,
why would you take Chewy's shit? God damn.
again, no, brilliant. If you would like to get the evidence yourself, then you have to apply yourself. I have seen the evidence. I've worked with the evidence. So
Sure.
have all the people that I worked with. It's not anecdotal. It's just a fact. It exists. I can present you all the papers, and that is what we would consider evidence in science. It's not my fault that you don't.
Are you
know
done? Are you
or
done?
Like what's,
Can
I'll
I
tell
react?
you when
Posted it
I'm.
in
No,
chat.
I will tell
I
you when I'm
posted it in
done.
chat, the evidence.
I will tell you when I am done. All right, then you can.
All
talk.
you're saying is, listen,
I said
all
I-
you're
I
saying
said
is
I
sin
will- I said
cleanser,
I will-
sin cleanser.
I s-
Why
I
am
said
I a
I will-
glober? Why do I
I-
believe these things? Sin
I-
cleanser, why do I believe these things? I don't know why you believe these things. You're trying to pass off this
I said-
non-evidence
I
as if
said
it's a
I
proof.
said that you can talk.
You said
when
the
I'm done.
military told me
I
that the
said-
gravity
I
affects
said
my
you can
submarine,
talk
and I
when
said
I'm done.
prove it, and you said I can't. You know, I don't know
No, I
what's
didn't
going
say I
on here.
can't. I said I
No,
can
it's in the
present you the
chat. I
papers.
put it in
That's
the
what I'm
chat.
saying. You can't. I'm telling
I
you.
can present
you're
you the
telling
evidence,
us you
but
can't.
you won't let me because you're scared to see it.
You said reality is not a great standard of evidence. Are you kidding me?
No, I didn't. I said reality isn't something that is a standard of evidence. Now, that doesn't
It's
fit
the
in
most
to that
basic
category.
premise of all understanding. Are you
No,
kidding me?
again,
Reality
that's
isn't
not
the
that is
standard-
not the answer to the question. What is your standard?
I'm
of
already
evidence?
exhausted. You're wearing me
Because
out.
you
You're wearing
don't
me out.
understand
Slow
what
down.
reality is.
I
so
didn't. I didn't snort the cocaine. I'm not ready.
You
Okay,
must
slow
have
down.
snorted. You must have
Give me a
snorted whole
5-minute
bunch.
break. Harp, go ahead. Jesus.
It's alright. I know I
It's
destroyed and
wild,
triggered you. It's
dude.
fun.
Oh shit, man! You. I can tell you've been
Yeah, I did.
vaccinated.
What's
Just
that?
listening to you,
Starmark, it's
you
fine.
just sound like a vaccinated man. I mean, I just got to say it, but go ahead, Harp.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
Sorry, Homo habilis is covering his opposable thumb says what? Yeah.
Where's
Next.
your evidence? Where's your proof?
All
You
of it.
can't demonstrate Earth
It was
curvature.
like I
asked
just
you
told you I
to
can.
do
If you
it.
would on,
You
yeah.
can't
Oh, if you
prove
ignore
any
the
of your
evidence, I guess
claims.
it's not there, right?
You're just
It's
saying
fine.
words. You have
you-
no
if you wanna
data.
ignore the
You have no
evidence, it's not there, it's
measurements.
fine.
You got nothing.
I've got it all, and I can present it. But
You're just
scared,
saying
so-
sin cleanser, sin cleanser. Why do I believe these globe Earth fairy tales? And I say
I don't have
know.
beliefs.
I really don't know. At this point, I have no idea
don't
why you
have
believe
beliefs.
this stuff, man.
Oh, what a bad attempt at
Well, you don't have
gaslighting.
beliefs, and you don't have evidence, and you don't
I have
measurements.
plenty of evidence.
You got
And I have
nothing.
measurements. I've got all
You're
of
out
it.
of gas.
I've got all of it. You're just going because I don't know. Maybe your mum used your soft spot. to
No,
masturbate
you're
for many
okay.
years.
Listen, here's the thing. It's very
Look,
simple.
Look,
If
I,
you're
look, I
going to
know
make a
that
claim,
no one has ever loved you, and I know that's hard
If
to
you're
deal with.
going to
but
make
it's
a
not my
scientific
fault,
claim,
okay? It's
you
not my
support the
fault that when your
scientific
mum
claim
dropped you on your head,
with evidence.
you fell underneath the wheels
Dude, you're
of an
firing
18
so
lorry.
hard.
Okay,
Like,
it's not
listen,
my fault. I understand.
if you're gonna make
that
a
it's
scientific
hard
claim,
that instead of breast
you have
milk,
to
your mum
support it
gave you
with
lead
evidence.
paint. I understand that it's difficult, right? But it's not my fault that you are this brain damaged.
I didn't
So-
think you'd get this riled up, honestly.
I know I've triggered you. I know I've triggered you greatly,
Let's
and
slow
I know
down.
it's
You're
very
there.
sore.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down.
there.
Let's reset. Let's have a reset. Here.
Okay, so Hart,
Can we
let's
agree to
have
reset?
some nonsense from you.
Let's slow down. No, that was pretty. This is wild. This is like a roller coaster. Let's slow down. Now, when someone
no, I want
says
Hart
something is
before,
okay,
He won't slow down.
You're making a scientific claim. All we
No, I'm just
us
making a
humble flat
factual
earthers are
claim.
asking is that you prove it.
Yeah, I
It's
can present
not
the
like-
evidence.
It's not a mystery. It's not a Rubik's cube. It's not
Yeah,
some sort of
I
puzzle.
can present the
If you're
evidence.
saying
I
something,
can-
just prove it to us.
I can present you the
we're open
papers
to-
that show it, and if you would like to go
No,
and
we need our
test it-
kind of evidence, not your kind. Not
Oh, what?
fake ass.
I
fucking-
don't care.
no,
I don't
yeah,
care that
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't like the evidence.
We
That's
don't
not
need
my problem.
retard evidence and fucking cartoon papers. Anybody can write a paper down, Scooby-Doo, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, it's
Don't
not
you
my
know
fault
that?
that you don't
Any
understand.
Flat
fucking
Earth.
retard
We
can
got our
write on
boy.
a piece of paper. That's how the
You're
Bible
done.
was made.
It's
So
not
you're
my
reading
fault
your
that you
Bible
guys
to
don't
us?
understand. It really isn't.
Buckle
No,
up,
you don't
Flat
understand.
Earth.
Physical
You're
physics,
getting.
motherfucker. No,
You didn't expect that we'd ask you to prove stuff, did you?
Well, I keep telling you that I will provide the evidence, but
You
you're
weren't
scared
ready
to
for
do it.
proof.
Oh, okay. No, you're just ignoring the words that I'm saying. That's fine.
No,
No,
all you're saying
is
is
all you've
words.
got.
You're not. There's no data. No
I
measurement.
keep telling you
no
that I will
proof,
present the
nothing.
data, but you keep going.
Just
"Nuh-uh."
I went on a submarine and there's gravity accelerators or something. It was listening to
Would
you guys
you like
is just
the
bizarre.
Would you like the scientific papers behind the research for it or not?
Scientific papers are just words written down.
Th-
Can
that
you
is- that
do
is what
something in
evidence
reality
is,
that
evidence.
demonstrates some
Yeah,
sort of maybe
I did.
measurements.
My
or something?
job required it. It's fine. So
Okay, you
it's
got
not
a
my
measurement?
fault that you don't like scientific evidence.
got
Scientific
a
papers
measurement?
are. Yeah, I have plenty of measurements. All right. Anyway,
All right, let's see. Let's take a look. Give us a measurement.
give you a
There's
measurement
no
of what I'm
flat
6'1".
Earthers
You
willing
don't like
to learn. You know,
I'm
you
6'1".
are
There's
in
my
a position to
measurement.
educate us here. Let's go.
peer
Let's do
review
it.
is beyond you, isn't it? Fight the physics. Physics
Fight
is
the
beyond
physics.
you. Don't like physics.
Okay, so
Like the flat
you're
physics.
asking for measurements of gravity observations,
No,
right?
physics.
Yes.
No, we're asking for. He's making claim. Who is that? PhD?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're asking for measurements of gravity, right? Okay.
We're asking for absolutely.
Okay. So what form should the measurement? If I show you an academic paper that is making gravity measurements,
That's not really convincing because I could show you a paper that says something else too.
No. This is not good. This is not the argument.
If I show you,
Keep talking now, won't he? Right?
If I show you an
Tony
oil
speak.
It's
field,
not the fucking argument.
if I show you an oil field that was found.
Right,
If
sorry,
I show
Harp, I'm
you
about to mute you for 1 sec, just so Tony can get a chance to speak. I will unmute you. If you just chill, let Tony speak, and then you can respond. Sorry, Tony, please, over to you as an expert in gravity.
If I show you an oil field that was found using gravity gradients, would that be evidence?
It would be just as convincing as evidence if I were to show you that I discovered an island because the Earth is flat.
Well, how do you isolate the electrostatics?
No, Don. Okay, not now, Don. 1 sec. You know, do you realize that your standard of evidence? Listen, Tony. Your standard of evidence that is not convincing to anybody in this room right now. You can't just say
you don't understand
gravity. No, because you're not jumping through the hoops. When we say prove it, we don't mean tell us a story and it's written on paper and there's math.
This is why we keep asking what your standard of evidence is, but you won't tell us.
I know you don't like that to hear this, but your math
So
equations
tell us
and all
what your standard of evidence is
are
then.
not proof of reality. They're
My
just
standard was
ideas.
that you were able to isolate electrostatics.
Well,
Whoa.
which question do you want me to address first?
Okay, let me put it to you straightforward, brother. Here, check this out. When you say
No, I heard you the first time. I understand.
well, you asked me to clarify, and now
No, he
you're
didn't. He
saying
asked,
you
he
heard
asked
the first
which
time.
question
Well,
because
which is
someone
it,
else
Tony?
asked.
You're doing a Glober thing here.
Two people asked questions. Which one do you want me to answer first?
You said you heard me the first time.
Yes, and there
Okay,
was
so
a
answer
second
that.
person. Okay, you want me to answer your question before the other person's question? That was all I wanted you to clarify. Your question is mathematics doesn't prove reality. Okay.
I didn't say nope. I didn't say that.
Well, your question,
This is called, gravity affects your mental capabilities to remember things, from what I understand.
Okay,
because
let's
of the
gaslight him.
force of
Stink
gravity,
cleanser,
you can't
stink
remember
cleanser,
what I
stop,
said.
Stink cleanser, stop. All right, don't gaslight. Just listen to Tony. He's an expert.
Okay, we have a hypothesis that mass attracts mass. If that hypothesis is correct, then we can use the mathematics of gravity to locate things under the ground. When we do this, we find stuff under the ground, and mining companies spend huge amounts of money having this done so that they can locate underground deposits. This has been done for over 100 years. Now, if the mathematics is wrong, if our method prove that mining companies...
You're just saying, making claims.
Okay. All right.
Why do you expect us to just believe that?
If I send you
Because he has a PhD.
to mining company, if I send you to mining company, mineral exploration companies that use gravity measurements, would that be proof?
Are you willing to finance that? Absolutely. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
But
just saying things on the internet isn't proof, Tony. You know that.
No, and I don't claim that it is.
You know, we've been talking to Globers for a long time, and you guys just say a lot of shit that you expect us to believe. And then you say, Sin Cleanser, why do I believe these things? I don't know why. This works for you. It doesn't work for us. It doesn't work for us.
Well, okay.
You expected me to believe some story.
Then get off your ass. Stop. So obviously, anything
you got no proof.
Anything that you hear in this conversation is useless as proof. You
just give us some data.
Then why the fuck are you here?
Because I'm here to call you out for having no data, Mr. No Data Guy.
You just said you want data.
No measurement, story time, telling head.
Wait, hold on.
You are making so much claims. You're talking out of ass. You can't prove anything.
Stop a sec. Stink Cleanser.
Just give us the data.
Stink Cleanser, give me the floor. 1 second. If you want data, we can present you with the data. Are you willing to accept the data? Or will you just say that's just words?
I'm going to say it's just things written down.
So why are you asking for it then?
The data.
Yeah, why did you ask for it then if you're not going to accept it?
Because you don't even have that.
You are.
We
do.
don't even have the
You
very
just
basic
said it.
shit that would be required to prove this.
Right.
Okay, if your standard of what is required,
he's gone.
If your standard of what is required is to go out into the real world, then fuck this debate and go out into the real world. This isn't going to change your opinion, right? So you're here doing nothing. You are literally wasting your life and everyone else's doing something that cannot answer the question you're asking. If you want the answer, if you want the question answered, and the only information you'll accept is in the real world, then stop this bullshit, go out into the real world and get data. That's what scientists do.
That's what we're telling you. Go out and do a measurement. You can't measure curve.
Well,
You
yeah,
got
we
no
have
measurements of anything.
We do.
We have
We can.
gotten the
If you
data.
like science, you would
won't
go out
accept
and
it.
measure something for yourself instead of saying stuff on the internet to flat earthers. You don't have any data.
He literally
You've got
has.
nothing. You've never done a measurement
His
in your
job
life,
was
and you're lying to
literally
me on
measuring
the
that
internet.
stuff.
Yes, I have. I have done measurements
You're a
in real life.
liar. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm trying to
well,
figure
okay.
out how do you
I
isolate
haven't,
electrostatics.
Right, yeah.
electromagnetic
Sin Cleanser can be muted
gravity.
because he's just a po and he's just saying stuff about listening. So, but MOSFET had an actually interesting question.
Okay, MOSFET does have an interesting question. So we can, well, I can go into the design of how gravimeters work, but they generally are enclosed in Faraday cages, so they minimize the effect of external electromagnetic fields, and they produce consistent results. The drop masses in gravimeters, drop gravimeters, are protected from electrostatic effects.
Right.
They're made of materials that are not that prone to electrostatic effects, but also we evacuate the drop chamber. We pull as much air out as we can, and then when we drop the drop mass, there's a carriage on a motor that runs just before the drop mass that pushes all of the air out of the way. So the and that carriage. What you're saying is that the carriage is essentially pulling that down. We can detect that sort of thing. None of this stuff is all of this stuff is made out of non-conductive materials to try and minimize this effect. We have made efforts to gravimeter. Somebody asked me if it's a gravometer. It's a gravimeter. Yeah, gravimeter. But in these things, that we do try and reduce the electrostatic effect as much as we can.
Yeah, but you're not fully isolating that because you got to look at the actual object itself too.
Well,
because atoms, what bonds atoms is electrostatics.
Well, let's look at for example cold atom gravimeters. What they do is that they freeze rubidium atoms down to microkelvin, and they're hoping to get to nanokelvin temperatures, and then they put them through a laser splitter. They split the condensate into an upward going and downward going cloud, and then they zap them again so that they recombine, and then they zap them again, and they look at the interference patterns, and from the interference patterns of the condensate, they can tell the strength of gravity, and they can distinguish this from electrostatic forces that have been applied to the atoms. So the way they put the atoms together, the way they put gravimeters together, and the techniques that they use to measure gravity, do actually put a lot of effort into making sure that the impact of electrostatics is very, very small.
Well, yeah, but my question really is, I mean, you're explaining to me how they're trying to, capitalize on that, but how do you remove electrostatics? Like, here it is, I remove it, put it over here, now gravity's left over. How do you do that?
So what you do is generally you make sure that in your system, in whatever system you're doing, there's a signal that you're trying to get out. So you're trying to get out a particular, we want to know if gravity is this big. So if we get a signal of 9.8 meters per second, but we can demonstrate that the steps that we've made have reduced the effect of electrostatics to 0.01 meters per second squared, then we can tell that electrostatics is not the cause of the signal, right? So all we have to do is make sure that the electrostatic contribution is much, much smaller than the gravitational. So we don't have to completely isolate it. We just have to make sure that it's much, much smaller. And we can do that through various experimental and observational techniques. We can get rid of this. And if you're saying that it's a sort of spontaneous error, well, that's going to show up as sort of noise in your observations, and it's it's not going to show up as the main signal. So it's a good question. And it's
how did we even get here?
Do you
what's
do
happening?
you eliminate that through sort of calibration?
Somebody let PhD Tony talk. That's how we got here. I don't know why.
Well, was this going somewhere? Don, did you have something that you...
You have to also take into
you were
account
looking for something, maybe?
Hold on. Well, you have to also take into account that electrostatics is different for different materials, right? So you're going to be getting, if it's electrostatics, you're going to be having different readings all of the time depending on the materials. But
well, not necessarily
that's not the
everything
case. But you can have two objects of, the same mass that are completely different materials that will have different electrostatic reactions, but because they're the same mass, they're going to have the same gravitational reactions, so they're different things that you'll be measuring, and you'd be able to tell that, oh, right, well, this is outside of what we would expect from gravity, so that's not part of the observations we're looking for.
I mean, for me, most instruments have a tolerance value and some sort of mechanism to align that tolerance value to be a known error bar.
Can I give you an example of a known error bar?
Sure.
Just for the sake of argument, if you guys are interested. Here's an example of an error bar. Christopher Columbus thought he was sailing to India on a globe. And he ended up in the United States because his globe map sucked. And it didn't work. So he didn't...
I mean, that's
the globe
not
is
true,
just provably... the whole story of Christopher... Hold on, I'm not done. Listen, you guys can spiral in a sec. Let me finish my sentence. Christopher Columbus used the globe... And he ended up in India, or he thought he ended up in India. But this is just more evidence that the globe model doesn't work in reality. Because when Christopher Columbus landed in the United States, he debunked the globe.
You clearly don't even know what happened with Christopher Columbus.
He never landed in the United States.
Foolish. This is an example of a globe error bar.
Yeah, but
isn't it
he
amazing?
never landed in the United States, so at least get that bit right.
He was only one continent away. That's an error bar.
May I address this? So Christopher Columbus did propose this journey, and he did think that he'd make it to India, and he was told by the academics of the day that he was wrong, that his calculation was completely incorrect, and that he had
What kind of map was he using, Tony? Was it a globe map?
He wasn't using a map. There was no map for him to use. For there to exist a map, somebody would have had to have been there earlier than him, and they hadn't. So he was navigating into uncharted. He was navigating into uncharted waters, and he was told by all of the academics. You can look this up. This is a myth that that everybody at the day thought that the Earth was flat and that Columbus was proving it round. Actually, the controversy was that the academics of the day said, no, the Earth is much, much larger than you're suggesting.
Hold on, Tony, slow down. We don't need to... Listen, let's have a dialogue here, Tony. You're saying that Christopher Columbus didn't use maps?
No.
I'm suggesting that Christopher Columbus didn't have maps of the area that he was going to.
Okay, but he did have maps of the known world, and because Eratosthenes measured the Earth curve, and he measured the globe... You know how Globers say Eratosthenes measured
you're
the globe?
You're conflating.
No. This is basic history.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm not here to educate you, fight the planet. I'm here to talk with Tony about this.
Hold on, let me talk. You are conflating measuring the radius of the globe with having a map. They are not the same thing.
So, as I said, fight the flat Earth. This is a primo example of a Glober error bar.
No, it's not.
You
it's
can
you
be
not
one
understanding
continent
things.
away.
Look, your
You can be
stupidity
so
is
far
not a Globe
in
error.
left field, and we just chalk it up to an error bar.
Your stupidity is not a Globe error.
That's not a rebuttal. That's an invalid rebuttal.
I would actually turn this point around on Sin Cleanser. So even if we accept this as a globe error, what we can deduce from this sequence of events is that globers are capable of getting new data, revising their belief system, and coming up with a more accurate model of reality. This is in stark contrast to flat earthers, who, when they receive new data, simply reject it and go back to their same belief. This conversation is not going to happen.
Tony, new doesn't mean true. New data doesn't mean true data.
That may be so, but you refuse to accept any data.
We refuse to accept base...
You're not...
Oh, no, Tony, don't get riled up.
After this conversation, you're not going to have learnt anything.
Tony, I'm not because you're not going to use all data. You have a PhD in you guys. Listen, PhD. Let me just express this one sentiment.
Ask him what his PhD is in actually.
No. Here's where it gets bad. PhD, Tony. You do realize you are the front line of the globe defendant. You're the front line of the globe defense. You realize that?
The globe doesn't.
You are here. You are here. Leading the charge with Fight the Flat Earth. You understand that?
No, he's a scientist.
And you guys, because of your inability to convince flat earthers,
I've got plenty of ability.
Is winning.
In fact, hold on. There's an entire
the inability to articulate your arguments is why the globe has failed.
Stop. Take a deep breath. There is an entire playlist on my channel called Interviews with Ex-Flat Earthers. You're wrong again.
You mean interviews with traitors and cowards?
Oh,
you
interview
with people who can't stand for anything. I'm glad they're globers. If they are so easily manipulated that they think the Earth is a globe, I'm glad they're globers. They sound like globers.
It's common for cults to shun people that leave their religion.
Yes, I know. I totally. That's why I say that Flat Earth is a cult.
This is why you guys are fighting the Flat Earth.
Because it's fun.
Well, this is the first. Hey,
any idea how much fun I have doing this? Here's the thing that really pisses you guys off is that I have monetized your stupidity.
No, this is why you come to us, because you know that you.
Because I've monetized your stupidity.
No. Check this out. Globers come from all around the flat plane to ask us. They say, Sinclair, can you teach us the error of our ways? And I say, yes, I can demonstrate that you have no evidence.
Right.
I can demonstrate that even if you had a globe in your hands, you still couldn't measure curvature. And they say, what do you mean? But gravity. And I say, oh yes, come here, young one, come here.
And you get it all wrong.
Let us tell you the wisdom of flat Earth. Yes.
May I ask a quick question?
Let us ease your pain.
All right, please go ahead.
This is the question I've asked a lot and I've yet to get an answer for. So, I'm a flat Earth skeptic. And my question is, do you have measurements showing that topography deviates from a flat plane? And if so, can I see that data? Can I see the tools that were employed to do it and your method?
Sorry, what was your straw man? What was that?
Why is that a straw man?
I didn't hear what you were trying to straw man me with. Can you restate that?
I asked you a question. You can't straw man someone with a question.
Okay, so restate your question. Sorry.
If you're a flat earther, do you have measurements showing that topography deviates from a plane? And if so, can I see the data, the tools that we use, and your methodology?
Okay, so here's where it might get a little bit drama. I know people like a little bit of drama here and there. There are people in our community.
It's a yes or no.
No, because things aren't so simple as yes or no. If you do not want, if you don't want me to educate you, you can just put your fingers in your ear, right? But you asked me a question, and I owe it to you as my responsibility to give you a thorough answer, right? Are you ready? There are flat earthers in our quote-unquote community here that say that the Earth is not flat because mountains exist. Have you ever heard that, foolish?
And that's why I used the specific wording of, do you have evidence that shows that topography, i.e. mountains and shit, deviates from a plane?
We have evidence of Neil deGrasse Tyson saying that stuff is flat.
We have evidence and repeated measurements of flatness, if that's what you're fucking
You've got
trying
no
to
measurements of flatness. There
We
is
got
no
evidence.
such
Hey,
thing.
if you want evidence, bro, we got evidence, man.
Okay,
Yeah, in that case,
Don't worry about that.
Shane,
that's fine.
Why has no flat earther ever been able to
That's all
present
we
you with a
got is
measurement of
evidence.
flatness then?
No, you
Hey.
don't. You have no evidence except
Flat Earth is evidence in and of itself.
Calm down, everybody. Calm down. Calm down.
You only
Let's
have
keep
A
it chill.
equals A, you lying piece of garbage.
Calm down,
Who is
NASA.
Peyton? Your name is Peyton Asashil. You're of course gonna spiral. Get out of here.
So all I'm
Shane's
saying,
such a liar.
if that's the case, can we see the data, the tools that we used, and your methodology?
There's no requirement that we do anything for you other than listen to you guys make baseless claims you can't support with evidence or any
Well,
sort of
I
proof.
don't defend. No, wait.
You guys
I
got
don't defend
nothing.
the Earth.
It's over.
I don't defend the globe.
That's why I say there is no flat Earth debate, because it's over.
I don't defend the globe. I'm skeptical of the flat Earth claim. If you're not
Globers
making a
don't
flat
have
Earth
anything.
claim, then that's fine.
Bullshit. Well, we only have evidence, for fuck's sake.
No, your grandstanding isn't an argument. It's not a valid argument.
You can
You're
go
gonna have
out-
to try
Yeah,
better.
well,
You're gonna have to
you're
do
avoiding
better.
questions. You can do the air measurement tomorrow with Solar News.
Shane, why are you
can do the
posting
Alberta
things you don't understand?
now.
Can I just
understand him.
can I just
You don't
suggest that
understand
we suggest that we permanently mute Sin Cleanser? Because all he said was
That's a one-way
nothing-
ticket for your getting muted, Tony. You better be careful, bud.
Nothing
Yeah.
that Globers say.
I agree. Sin cleanser's muted.
Oh, there we go. That works.
Didn't you come here to talk to him? Like, my God.
He's a Poe, though.
what-
So I mean, it's clear
So-
that he's got
so
nothing.
what
He
he's
won't
just
accept
said-
anything.
You came here to talk to Sin Cleanser, and you now are muting
Yeah.
him instead of PhD Tony.
Yeah, because Sin cleanser's a Poe.
If you just want to have a conversation with Globers, then you can just, just talk amongst
No,
Globers.
I would like. Well, Sin cleanser's a Glober because he's obviously not a flat earther. He's a Poe. So I would like to talk to flat earthers, not Poes.
That's not true.
Well, he's
You know
definitely
that's
a
not
Poe.
true.
No, he's
It's
100% a
not
Poe.
true.
Sin cleanser is 100%
Can
a
we
Poe.
pull the room of flat earthers? Can we do a live poll? Are there
No,
any
I'd
flat
like-
earthers?
I'd like
Are there
to-
any flat earthers in this room that?
Sorry, Sin cleanser, you're
I'd
a Poe.
like to.
We don't need to talk
I'd like to
Oh,
talk
you
to
muted
Sean.
him? Why'd you mute him? You
Because he's a
coward.
Poe. I want to talk to flat earthers, not
Because-
Poes.
Oh,
Okay,
you might have
can I-
brain
Just so you
damage.
know, wait, hold on.
Can
Sin
I-
Cleanser, you can unmute yourself. You're the only person in here with mods, so if they mute you, you can unmute yourself.
So this is.
You have to
so-
mute to.
No, so this is a.
This
So
isn't gonna
I
be
want to
fun.
talk to Shines. I want to talk to Shines.
I don't want to
Okay.
talk to you. I'm only coming in here to try and get this conversation in gear. I'm not here to debate. I'm here to listen
well,
to
the way to get it
He
in-
wanted
it-
to talk. He
The
wanted
way
to talk
the way to
Sid
get it in
and
the way
Harp.
to get it in going is for Sin cleanser to not be a part of it because he's a Poe.
Then don't say you want to debate him. Then
But
don't
do
come
you-
in here saying you want to
I
talk to
did
Harp and
until I
Sid
found out that he was a
and
Poe.
mute him.
Do you understand that Sin Cleanser is constructing a logically
Yeah, no shit. Somebody should mute him.
Right.
No,
God damn it.
PhD Tony is not. being
PhD Tony, I don't know if you remember where you're at. You might be lost.
You're in our room.
No, this is my room right now.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is.
It's never your room. You're
Yeah,
a
it's
Poe.
right now. This is
so-
my room.
Shit.
So he's constructing a vacuous and logically circular position in which no discussion is worthwhile.
Yeah.
If we produce evidence of anything, he just gets to reject it. And when asked for evidence, he just says, well, we're under no obligation to get it. This cannot logically or materially improve the situation. This
10
makes,
years? What are you
this
talking about?
makes-
We've been doing this for 10 years. What are you talking about? You guys have had your ass kicked for 10
Never
years.
happened.
You
Never
never bring
happened.
nothing, and you come in here and act like you're somebody. You have no facts. You couldn't even measure a round
Apart
ball.
from all the
for us.
measurements,
A round
I
little ball.
absolutely can measure
Greg
a round ball.
couldn't
It's very
even
easy.
demonstrate how he measures curve on a round ball.
It's very
Isn't
easy.
that
I
something?
told you exactly
can you
how I
answer
do
my
it.
question then?
Oh, foolish. Nothing
Hey,
better
dude.
than a fool man. Go ahead, fool man.
How's it going?
It's damn good, brother.
Nice to speak to you again.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you. We haven't talked for a while.
So again, it's the question I've been asking for a while, which is, I'm just looking for people that have got measurements that shows that mountains and valleys deviate from a plane. And
That's
if you've got
easy.
the data,
That's easy.
if you got
That's
the data, well, if
Stop.
you got the data,
Stop.
can I see it?
Stop.
No, I want to finish the
Stop.
question
Foolish.
because it's
Foolish.
incomplete
I'll
at the
answer it.
moment.
Answer.
It's incomplete.
Who
It's
is?
incomplete.
Let me answer.
I want to see the
It's so
data,
simple.
the tools that were used, and your method.
Oh my
Or
God.
the method, because I'm not expecting
Okay.
you to have done it.
Okay. Basic survey. Okay.
Mhm.
Land surveying. All over the world, they do basic land surveying. Now, I know you understand basic land surveying.
Yep.
Now, do you need me to say anything else, or do you want me to expose you as a complete idiot not understanding land surveying?
Yep. Well, what class of land surveying are you talking about? Is it class 1, 2,
Oh,
or
what
3?
class? Is there, oh, there's classes. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
there are.
Basic land surveying. There's no class. 1. Okay? 1. It's only one method. You can bullshit all you want to, but 1.
Sorry, there's
Now,
only
you can
one
bring
method
in
of
your
surveying?
Little other pretend.
Are you trying to say there's only
you
one
measure,
method
where
of
you
surveying?
measure, oh, you go out there and measure the electric field. I forgot. You do that one too.
No,
We're
I don't do that one.
Evidence.
I've never used an argument involving the electric field. The main argument when people bring up
Are
the
you
idea
trying to say
of
there's only
land
one
surveying,
method of
if I
surveying?
just finish
Is
the
that
point
right?
quickly, is reciprocal zenith angles, and we've shown that multiple times with multiple measurements from multiple people, that when you establish two horizontals from two plums, those lines do not meet at 180 degrees.
That's
Showing
total
that those
bullshit. It's been debunked 1,000 times.
showing and proving that those plums are not parallel to each other.
No, that's crazy. You know damn well that you guys. That's where you guys bring up the curved line. Now you know damn well you can't take a survey instrument out there. Anytime I set that gun up, it is going to be
a straight line.
Well, now they don't meet up sometimes because you're at different elevation, but they are parallel.
Reciprocal
That's how you
angles
survey. That's the first thing you learn when you go out and learn how to survey.
That's the difference between doing leveling.
Well, geodetic surveyors would
which is
disagree
when
with you, of course.
when you're measuring different,
That's why they're
when you're
always
measuring
flat
different
and straight.
elevations,
See,
you can
they're not
establish
uneven.
reciprocal zenith angles at different elevations,
line.
Steve.
Yeah, they don't.
You don't
curve.
have to be at the same. You don't have to be at the same elevation.
You guys are
And
always
know-
going to be. You're always going to get your ass whipped on anybody that knows anything about basic surveying.
Well,
Come out here
geodetic
and
surveyors
bullshit the
disagree with you, of
class
course.
And doesn't know how to survey, but you can't bullshit the class that knows how to survey.
Surveyors disagree
Steve,
with you, of course.
So, Steve A., can you explain to the class what deflection of the vertical is and how we know it exists?
Yeah, that is funnier than shit. Now you go ahead and now let's hear your.
So you can't do that. So you're not a surveyor then. Why are you lying about being a surveyor?
The class wants
Why are
to
you
know
lying
how
to everyone
full of
about
shit
being a
you are.
surveyor?
Go ahead.
Steve, why are you lying to everyone about being a
Go
surveyor?
ahead.
Okay.
Steve, 1 second,
I will-
PhD. Steve, I just want to state for the record, I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay, so deflection of the vertical was noticed in more than 250 years ago. If you carefully survey a position and you go, okay, that point over there has this latitude and that longitude, and then you go and you set up an azimuthal sector and you look at the stars to determine what the latitude and longitude is, you're going to get different answers. The celestial location techniques and the surveying location techniques produce different results. And when you test the surveying techniques, they're accurate. When you test, so there's got to be something wrong with the celestial techniques. And what's wrong with the celestial techniques is that the plumb line is not actually normal to the reference surface. The plumb line is deflected from being normal to the reference surface because gravity, the equipotential surface, down the direction that things fall, is not uniform. It deforms under the influence of gravity.
Why are you covering for Fight the Flat Earth, Tony? Why are you such a white knight? Why can't Fight the Flat Earth defend himself with a logical, consistent argument backed by data and proof?
So you're not going to respond to what I just said? Well, yeah. So Steve, this has been known of and is measured and has been observed for over 250 years. And you can go and Google deflection of the vertical or vertical deflection, and you will have this explained to you. Were you aware of this before I explained it to you?
No, because he's not a surveyor.
How many flaps planes make?
Well, you have to have that. You have to have that in order to be a ball. So yeah, what's your problem?
Well,
It
the
doesn't
fact
prove nothing. All the thing it proves is that you guys are bullshitting me. So if you want to post that, go ahead and post it so we can read it. I'll read it. Yeah, go ahead.
So did you not know it existed then? So you're not a real surveyor?
Yeah, it's the same thing that you guys do with the plumb bobs. Yeah, so you take a vertical line, you hang 100 plumb bobs on it, and you guys all
And they
claim
diverge.
they all point in different directions. That's what he's talking about right now.
Yeah, it's
You
been measured.
understand, Craig?
It's
You
been
understand,
measured.
Craig?
It's
Craig,
been
that was a
measured.
yes or no question.
Hello, it's been measured that plumb bobs
Hello?
diverge.
Hello, Craig.
Hello, hi,
yes
how you
or
doing?
no?
Hello, hi, hi there.
Yeah, well, that was a yes or no question to you.
Yeah, it's been measured that plumb bobs diverge.
Yes, yes. That was a yes question. That was a yes answer.
It's been measured that plumb bobs diverge.
Evidence in the chat. I posted.
Yeah, that's what we. Yeah, that's what we. Yeah, so I know what he was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so plumb bobs diverge, therefore
The center
Earth's
of the
not
Earth.
flat.
We got to go to the center of the Earth. I understand that. What the fuck's your problem?
No, we don't have to go to the center of the Earth. That's a nice straw
Yes,
man
you
there,
do.
well
That's what
done.
he's talking about. You goofball.
No, it's not. I don't know why you're straw
Well,
manning
it
that.
is.
That's a lovely attempt at
Yeah,
straw
no,
manning. because that's
yeah,
all you
right,
have.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Good straw man.
All
well
your
done.
little plumb bobs got to go. All plumb bobs got to go to the center, Craig.
No plumb bob goes to the
No,
center of the Earth.
They do. Now they don't have to. Oh my God.
No
Now
one
you're
takes
switching
plumb bobs to the center of the
Bob
Earth.
story.
They may point towards the center of the Earth, but they don't go to the center of the Earth.
Well, now we're getting. Oh, now we're getting dumbass. Go ahead, Craig. Keep talking.
Facts are dumbass to you. I mean, ignorance is bliss, I guess, for you. I don't know why you
straight line,
deny.
straight line, Craig.
Plumb
straight
bobs
line,
don't make straight lines
Hang
because
a
they
1,000
diverge.
plumb bobs on it.
And they
They'll
diverge.
all hang vertical. Now
No, they
you
diverge.
guys
Just
somehow
posted
believe
evidence
they all deflect.
Just
Yeah,
post evidence
okay,
in the
Craig,
chat
go ahead.
that they diverge. So,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
want to ignore.
yeah, they
this
diverge.
is all you guys do. You go,
That's
show me
retarded,
evidence. Here's
Craig.
the evidence. I don't believe the evidence, and you're wrong. That's it. That's
Yeah,
what you
right.
do.
You guys have been debunked on that so many times. My
Well,
God.
well, debunk the evidence. then.
Hey, Fight
Hello.
Butter, do the plumb bobs diverge when they're 10 feet apart?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you show us that?
I haven't personally measured it. No, they would be very, very small.
Because from what
yeah,
I-
because you
from
got
what I
nothing.
read, yeah, this stuff only happens over long distances, and the equipment.
No,
that
it happens
you
over
use
small
isn't
distances,
even
but-
equipped for long distances. So, of all
Nice straw man. Nice straw man again.
Yeah, most of the measurements that I use to sort of show the reciprocal zenith angles are taken over sort of 800 to 1200 feet measurement ranges.
With what?
With a theodolite.
A theodolite has been proven to work better over short distances than long distances because things
Yeah, up to
drop.
about 300 meters is normally where you're getting really, really accurate sort of arc second measurements. Yeah. And
So-
300 meters is well within the ranges that we're talking about.
And you
So I
have
have
plumb bobs diverging at 1,200 meters?
No, 1,200 feet.
1,200 feet, you have plumb bobs diverging?
Yes.
And like with the theodolites telling you that, or you're measuring that like physically?
You're making a measurement using a theodolite, which is a very accurate instrument.
With angles?
Well, yeah, because you're measuring to see if two horizontals from two separate points are meeting at 180 degrees, and they're not.
So things don't drop in the distance, you're saying?
Holy shit.
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that when you take a sightline measurement from a level position, you're using plumb to level your theodolite, and then you're taking another sightline measurement from another leveled position, those two lines should meet at 180 degrees, and they do not.
How'd you level the instrument? Does it just do it on its own?
You use a spirit level.
To level the theodolite?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, very
They
interesting.
have a little bubble measure on them, and you kind of like two little adjustment screws on it, and you get it right in the center, and then you do another one to get it right in the center, and then you can confirm it with a vertical drop plumb as well.
So if
So
two
you-
theodolites are
you-
looking at each other, they're not really like they're actually both looking up, is what you're saying, correct?
No. What you're doing is you're then using a sight stick at the other end, and then you're taking measurements off that sight stick.
So if I point,
What I would suggest you do, Tora, is go and actually have a look at the methodology, because this is really simple stuff. I'm not a surveyor. I'm not an expert on this topic, and I've managed to understand this to, I think, a way that I can reasonably articulate it.
So if I level two theodolites away from each other and look through, I won't see the other theodolite, right?
Why would you not see the other theodolite? We're talking about arc
Because one's
seconds.
looking, they're both looking up. You just said they drop in the
No, I
distance.
did not. No, I did not say they're both
You do realise
looking
that the
up.
amounts are tiny, right?
Yeah.
The floodlights wouldn't, their targets, they wouldn't be looking straight at each other. They would be slightly off. But you'd still be able to see the theodolite.
Yeah,
I'll give you a good example, Tora. I'm a biker, yeah? And you know, when I'm measuring the spark gap on my spark plug, I don't use a 12-inch ruler because it's the wrong fucking instrument for the job. I use a feeler gauge.
Got to have the right tool.
If I want to measure something down to, the micrometer, I'll use a micrometer, which will give me, again, a very accurate thing. So it's the right tool for the right job, and we measure how accurate these tools are, which is why they have tolerance values.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, when you look out in the distance, don't things drop in the distance? Like, if I drive underneath the traffic lights above my head, then I look in my rear view, and it's, like, within, at the horizon all of a sudden. So things are dropping in the distance due to perspective. Is that correct?
Over sort of 800 feet. Are you talking that's going to be a massive thing? So what I'm trying to understand is what point you're trying to get to with this.
I just don't think that you're measuring a curve. I think you're measuring an optical effect.
Well, a straight line's a straight line, isn't it?
A straight line is a straight line. I didn't know there's any straight lines on a globe.
Well, a straight line is a straight line, isn't it?
Well, can you make a straight line on a globe, though?
You can make a straight line anywhere.
On a globe?
Yeah.
Do you know what the surface of a globe
I can get my table. Hold on a second. No, I'm going to use your example here. I can get my table. I can get a piece of paper. I can get a ruler. And I'm doing a pretty good approximation of a straight line, aren't I? On a globe.
On a flat table?
Yeah, on a table, which is on the globe.
Yeah, but you're talking about measuring the surface over 400 meters.
Okay, so let's assume it's a flat plane.
You can't make a straight line over that.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'm just going to prove the problem I've got with your argument. Do we have lumps and bumps on a flat plane?
Do we have lumps and bumps? You mean like a hill or something?
I'm talking about tiny deviations up and down. Maybe by a few millimeters.
Like a golf ball? Or a basketball?
Like if I play golf, there'll be a hole in the fucking green.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely bumps.
So there's nowhere on your flat plane, evidently, you can draw a flat line then, a straight line then.
Well, I would make a different point. So the line in this, the lines in this case are not actually following the surface of the Earth, right? They're from a point at the top of the theodolite. So it's the line between the theodolite at one end and the theodolite at the other end. And as long as they're unobstructed, you can draw a straight line between them. So there's nothing about the curve of the Earth or the shape of the topography that interferes with the straight lines of sight that exist between the two theodolites. So this argument.
Why is there a straight line of sight between two theodolites if plumb bobs diverge?
Because you can still look the straight line.
Because the plumb bobs, the directions of the plumb bobs have nothing to do with the line between the two, right? Any 2 points can be connected by a straight line.
So you're pointing the theodolite down in order to do that. Is that correct?
One of the theodolites will have an angle less than 180 degrees, but one of the other theodolite may also have an angle. It depends entirely on the configuration of the surface elevation. One may be pointing up, one may be pointing down. If for example I've got a theodolite on a hill and one at the base of the hill, I can
Let's make it easier and just do it shoreline to shoreline over water.
Okay.
Okay, now those theodolites, in order to look at each other, both have to point down, correct?
Well, that's assuming that the water is flat, which, there
not.
are actually
How is that an assumption, assuming water is flat? What are you talking about?
Well, water's not flat. Water literally is never flat.
So you obviously weren't here, but we can demonstrate,
Definitely
for
not
instance,
flat.
that sea level. We can demonstrate, for instance, that sea level in Chittagong, in Bangladesh, is more than 50 meters higher than sea level at the southern tip of India. So the claim that water is flat is demonstrably false. Water follows equipotential surfaces. And those have significant deviations in them. So this claim, water is flat, it's a common claim that flat earthers make.
Well, unless it's carbonated, really. But anyways, what I was getting at was over the lake or whatever, your shoreline to shoreline, we have to turn the theodolites downward in order to see each other, correct?
That depends entirely. But in the case where the water is practically flat, yes. If you're pointing directly at the theodolites, yes, both of them would be pointing downwards.
Okay, yeah. Don't you think that things in the distance drop due to perspective?
No.
You don't think that? Like if you go under a traffic light and you look up,
They
it's
don't
above
drop
your
below
head
a
and you
center
can see
point.
it
Yes, but at the other hand, if I look at train tracks, if I'm looking down at train tracks and I look up, the train tracks rise. So the motion of things in regard to under the influence of perspective depends on where they are, right? You're saying that things drop due to perspective. Well, that requires that they're higher than your eye line.
I got you. Yeah, you're right. I understand that. That when it's above your head, they're definitely dropping. So you guys are setting these theodolites above the water, correct? Above the surface of the earth.
Yeah, but not above. But by definition, if I'm looking, if my eye line through the theodolite is directly at the theodolite, there's no perspective distortion of that line.
So it's a straight line between the two theodolites?
Yes, it's a straight line between the two theodolites.
But it has to be curved or something, right? For the curve of the earth, right?
What?
No.
Why can't you guys think in 3D?
Well, I mean, you can construct an infinite number of curved lines between the two theodolites, but there's a straight line between the two theodolites, and it doesn't matter what the shape of the surface they're on is, right? So if I go into a car, right, and and you're sitting on a seat, and that seat isn't flat, right, and you've got a kid who's sitting in the back of the car. On a toddler seat, if you look eye to eye to that kid, the fact that the seats aren't flat doesn't make the line between your eyes not straight.
I got you. So you're saying the straight line occurs when the two theodolites both point down to look at each other.
Well, when they're both directed at one another, it doesn't matter if they're looking down or which direction they're looking in.
In order to direct them at each other, if plumb bobs are diverging, they would both have to point down a little, correct?
Only if they are at the same elevation or close.
Like if they're shoreline to shoreline, which is what I set up at the beginning of this talk, right?
Though you can have currents, you can have winds that make water not flat, but whatever. Yes, if you're approximately at the same elevation, then yes, they're both downward deflected slightly in order to get that straight line.
Okay, yeah, to me that seems like a product of perspective, but I can understand what you're saying.
Okay, but this is the thing. Like, so if I were asked, how would you prove that the Earth is round? How would you prove that it's spheroidal? I wouldn't be dealing with any of this stuff, right? I would point out that atmospheric pressure waves and seismic surface waves start from a point on Earth's surface, they propagate away until they get to the opposite side of the Earth, and then they come back, they converge on the point they started from, and they continue doing this for a long time. In fact, the atmospheric pressure wave after Tonga was still there 3 days later, having
You're
completed...
kind of talking a lot of wind right now, aren't you?
It's facts. I know you don't like
I understand
facts.
I understand that you need to make an emergency interruption in order to prevent...
Yeah, well, you're talking a lot of gibberish right now, especially when you didn't know anything. Especially when you didn't know anything about a theodolite.
After the Krakatoa eruption, these air pressure waves were observed to travel for more than 9 circuits of Earth. So and that geometry, that where an air pressure wave spreads out, goes to the other side of the Earth, and comes back on its original, and keeps on doing that. That's evidence of the spheroid. That is evidence that the Earth is spheroidal.
So, what was your PhD thesis?
Is that a P wave or an S wave?
Well, I was talking about atmospheric pressure waves, which are P waves by definition. My PhD is in geophysics.
What was your thesis in?
My thesis was high-resolution techniques for determining, for calculating post-glacial sea level and rebound. But as part of it, part of that was calculating, using flat Earth seismic models and putting them into viscoelastic.
Wait, aren't those horizontal layers?
No, why did you?
That's what you just said. Did you catch that? Using flat models demonstrating P waves. That's what he just said.
Let's ask him why. Why did you use those instead of the globular alternative?
Because so what we wanted was high resolution. So we were interested in ice sheets like the Swiss Alps, where they don't extend very far, because if they extend very far,
brevity, come on.
They hit the mountain.
If they extend very far, if the horizontal extent of the load is large, then you're better off using a spheroidal calculation. But if it's small, if you're in a localized area, then you can use a flat Earth approximation, and they're reasonably accurate.
So that was simpler to use that. Kind of like when you're navigating, you can pretend the Earth's flat for 600 miles. So when you're seismically calculating P and S waves,
no, you can't navigate if you pretend the Earth's flat. It doesn't work.
Yeah, except that we've done so. So you guys are asking the right questions. How far can you go and treat the Earth as flat in a seismic model? And the answer turns out to be 180 kilometers. Once you go beyond 180 kilometers, we've investigated this. We've got the we've done the analyses. Once you go beyond 180 kilometers, your flat Earth models start disagreeing with one another. They cannot be made compatible, and they fall over. So the flat Earth approximation works over short distances, but it cannot be made to work in a spheroidal distance.
Well, so now you're going to demonstrate the big one then. So how do you do the demonstration on the big one then? So you can't use the little one. You got to switch and go to the round ball. So show us that one.
What do you want shown?
Well, you're talking about P waves, and we all kind of know that radio waves get blocked by mountains. So you got a little problem. You guys got problems all the time.
Why would seismic P waves be blocked by mountains?
Well, because any type of radio wave gets interference with.
A seismic wave isn't a radio wave.
P waves aren't radio waves, right? You understand?
Oh, they're not. Oh, okay. What frequency are they? What frequency? Well, you're telling me P waves. What did you just say? Repeat what you just said. P waves aren't what?
We're not talking about radio waves. We're talking about seismic waves. Fucking hell.
Waves. Oh, cool. Waves. Where do you got a definition? You got some type of calculator measuring waves, or what do you got?
We've got seismometers, and
what's that measuring? What is that measuring? Frequency? Is it electric tool? Electricity? What's it doing?
Well, you can use. There are mechanical seismometers, and there are electrical seismometers. What they measure is the movement of the instrument. So they're a type of accelerometer.
Vibration. Frequency, vibration.
Yes, if there is a vibration of the instrument, it will be recorded by the instrument.
Right. Yeah, they give them to people in America. You know that, right?
Yes, I am perfectly aware of that.
How deep they go, Tony?
What's your point?
I said, how deep do they go, Tony?
How deep to what?
What's your point?
That was weird. But,
so you don't know how deep they go.
If I were,
it's weird you're talking about something you don't know how deep it goes.
Sort of,
how deep? What goes?
In here?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I got a picture that debunks you even got a horizon at all. PhD dick face.
No, you
want to go over it?
You do not.
Yeah, I do, cunt.
No,
it's
you
right
don't.
there. I put it right back in the chat, bitch. Yeah, I do.
You didn't put it in the right chat. That's for sure. You're in the wrong chat again. Demok.
No horizon. Don't be mad. I'm blocked out of that chat, bitch. I can only put it in one chat, retard loser. Don't tell me about your fucking sad stories and not being able to look in the next chat. What are you too pussy to look in the next one?
You can't put it in the right chat.
Retard.
Oh, what's wrong, Demok?
Fight the real physics. Fight the flat physics. Don't be mad.
Demok, why can't you put it in the chat that everyone else is in?
Look at your non-existent circle and we'll go over how a circle.
I'm looking at the chat and there's no picture in there. Everyone else checking? Nope.
It's the other chat, you retard. Fucking
put it in the right chat then.
Brain bitch for the fifth time.
Put it in the right chat.
You stupid bitch, I'm blocked from the right chat. I told you go one chat under, you
why
slow
are you blocked from the right chat?
IQ globe motherfucker. Dude, Globers can't fucking comprehend one chat below. Too much for them.
Why can't you put it in the right chat,
Glober. So the first test is to find a picture. So you can't even find a pic, right? One chat below where I give you the instructions. This is so hard.
No, it's not in that one either. Oh.
Follow the instructions, retard.
Demok has been...
I've just been to both the chats and it's not there.
So, it's right below, retard. It's my name. It's a fucking picture.
This to me, like the
I'll put it right
seismic
in the
waves,
next one
the surface
again.
waves, the atmospheric pressure waves.
Yeah,
you
don't have any atmosphere. You don't have any round air. Shut the fuck up, idiot. You're talking about electrical fucking continuity.
Last week,
you don't have any downward fucking elevation. You don't have horizontal
distance.
You don't have horizontal elevation, therefore no atmosphere, buddy.
Multiple sets of 4 points.
You don't have round air
surface that are an equal distance away. That's impossible.
You can't have that on a globe. You can't have equal distances on a globe, dumb cunt. Do you know when you walk in a straight line, you and your buddy, and one of you walk north, south, east, and west on a beach ball, you all fucking meet up, retard, on a ball. That's how a beach ball works. That's how your globe works. So show us where the tracks meet, bitch. Where those tracks touch at?
They would meet at the top. They would meet
Stop saying where it would. Show us, you dumb cunt.
Show you how?
I don't know. You don't know how to show anything? That's the problem with the globe.
Show you how. What do you want me to do to show you?
Did you find the picture yet of your debunk?
Define your standard of
evidence. Did you find
I've looked in all the chats I've looked in all the chats.
We're gonna go over 360 if you don't mind. We're gonna go over a sphere, what a real sphere works like. Retard, fight the real physics.
I know what real sphere looks like. I'm holding one in my hand.
No, you don't, retard. What's a globe physics look like? What's a globe physics class look like?
There's no such thing as a globe physics class. There's no such thing as a globe physics.
Put 2 squares on there.
Amen, amen. Keep preaching, brother. I hear it.
Sit 2 squares on there.
No such thing as a globe
I
physics
can put a
class.
square there and a square there.
You heard it here first, folks.
We won.
There are no such thing as a globe.
Hold on, D-Mog. One sec.
There's just physics. There's just physics.
Fight the flash.
No, I don't think so.
Just physics. There's just physics.
Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat earth. You have a real opportunity here to rediscover yourself. You have an opportunity.
Sorry, Poe says what?
A chance of a.
What?
You have a chance of a lifetime.
Stop poeing.
Unblock me from the fucking text so I can
You
put my
have a
picture in
chance
there.
to
Stop
rediscover
poeing.
yourself.
Sin cleanser, stop poeing.
This is an opportunity.
Sin cleanser, stop poeing.
Stop
No one's
squandering
interested in your poeing, Sin cleanser.
Listen.
Sin cleanser, if you weren't such an obvious Poe, then I'd talk to you.
This is such an opportunity.
I've no interest in talking to a Poe.
You cannot
You
let him
rediscover yourself.
He's a
One
poo.
talent for
I don't
your
care what a
insanity.
poo has to say.
Somebody mute him. Like, it's getting annoying. You cannot let him get 2 words out, dude.
I
We get
don't
it. You
care
need
what
to
a
go.
poo has
Let him
to
speak.
say.
Listen.
I do not
You don't
care
have to-
what a poo has to say.
Nobody has to be frustrated.
I do not care what
I'm
a
a flat
poo
earther because I
has
found
to, You're
peace.
not a flat earther, you're a poo.
You need to. I'm trying to help you, bud.
Stop pooing.
We can be at peace.
I put my picture in there again.
Let there be peace.
Stop
Relax.
pooing.
I put my picture
There's
in there.
no
Relax.
rush.
Let's go over
Stop
this picture.
pooing, Sin.
There's
No
no
one
rush.
cares.
There's no rush to
D-Monk,
disprove
he
your
just
globe
doesn't
if you
understand me,
bunk
D-Monk.
So
He doesn't
I really don't
understand how
care
to
what you
debunk
say
the
because
globe
you
with his
are a
flare.
poo.
He doesn't understand.
I'm telling you,
is the
you're
horizon
squandering a
on
real
globe.
opportunity here, man, to
No,
rediscover
You
yourself.
have no,
horizon
like,
of
you're a
your
poo.
life.
I
And
don't
really
care what you're
investigate
saying.
has no
I
horizon.
don't care what you're
Mysteries that we
saying,
have to-
Sin Cleanser. I don't care what you're saying because you're a
Mathematically
poo.
proven, a globe has no horizon.
A globe definitely has a
no
horizon.
verticals and horizontal lines
Oh, there's a
upon it.
horizon on my globe. Look at it, it's right there.
No, I don't think so. Get a cue ball
I
and
know you
show
don't
us how.
think. I know
show
you
us
don't
the horizon on a cue ball. I want to see the horizon on a real physical sphere. If
There
you're
you
not
go.
afraid
There's
of
the
physics.
horizon. I'm pointing at the horizon
cue
on this
ball.
physical sphere in my hand.
There's a horizon on there. Now,
Yeah,
where's
right
the
there.
longitude and latitude of that where I can go on Earth? What meets that?
The
Where's
horizon.
that
You will
longitude
never
latitude
be
at,
at the
bitch?
horizon. You realize that?
Where is the longitude and
horizon
latitude
is
of
an
your horizon of the
equidistant
ball in your
around you.
hand?
The
Where
horizon
is the
is
longitude and
equidistant around
latitude
you.
of the horizon of the ball in your hand?
The
Point to
horizon
that.
is
Fucking
equidistant
Pacific
around
land
you.
and
Listen to
longitude
the
and
words that are
latitude.
coming out of my mouth. The
So
horizon
you
is
don't know what
equidistant around
longitude and
you.
latitude your horizon are at.
The horizon
This is fucking
is
sad.
equidistant
Do you
around
understand
you.
words?
The
Words,
horizon
you
is
understand them.
equidistant around you. Listen
Longitude.
to the words coming out of my mouth.
Do you have a fucking horizon or not?
Yes, and
Where
it will
is
be
it at,
equidistant all around. It will be equidistant
What's
all around
the
you.
address? We want one address. No.
One
La La
dumbass
Land is not
avenue.
horizon, bitch. Everywhere
It
for
will
God
be
in heaven is not
equidistant all
horizon.
around you.
No, that's called your religion is all around you.
No, that's what
Where
the
is
horizon is.
No, I
The
don't
horizon
think so,
is
cunt.
equidistant all around you. I don't care how much you cry. That's
No,
what it is.
it's not.
Yes,
Show
it
me
is.
on my diagram where your horizon is in front of you
That's
horizontally.
not a diagram. That looks like a spider went through some ink and had an epileptic fit.
Show me where. This is math, bitch. You don't like math all of a sudden?
That is definitely
that
not
globe
math.
is 360, bitch. That is perfectly 360 degrees. Scale it up or down. It matches your 24,901 hoe,
No,
bitch.
it doesn't. It's 2
It matches your
dimensions.
motherfucking 1 degree per 69 miles, cunt. It matches.
You have no idea
every
what a
fucking
horizon
thing.
is, do you?
39.59. Scale
Guys,
down,
guys,
bitch. You
look.
don't like math?
Guys, look. He
When I
thinks
go
this
away
is what a
from my
horizon
ball 1
is.
foot, I'm away from the ball 1 foot when I leave the ball 1 foot with my finger surface, right? So when I pull my finger away from that drawing, it's away no matter what direction, right? 1 foot, right? So where the fuck you gotta go a magic direction to get an inch away from your globe, bitch? Why can't you go horizontal like my finger? Like the drawing, cunt? Looks like your math
You
is
don't
fucked.
even know
You
what
have no
horizon is,
horizon.
do you?
You
don't
pay
even know what
attention to the
horizon is.
horizon. There is none. The drawing is right there. You are the focal point of that 90-degree, cunt.
Yeah, and you don't
You
know what
are the guy
horizon
standing
is.
up. You are the line. You are the horizon, bitch. Look at the drawing. 360 right there. Math. Proof. Hello?
Yeah, no, that's not what a horizon is, dipshit. Try again.
Are you afraid of math? That's 360
that's definitely
degrees you're
not
looking
math.
at right there.
That's
That's
definitely not
exactly
math.
a sphere.
Meth, maybe.
That is a perfect sphere, if I don't mind saying so myself
that's
at
a
2D.
circle. That's a circle.
That
You
is
can't
a
have a
perfect
2D sphere.
sphere replica of yours. Show me how you do yours different on paper. Show me how you do your different 360-degree circle than mine. Show me how yours is different,
Right.
clown bitch.
That's a horizon, dumbass.
A circle, cunt. Show me how you draw a circle different than mine, bitch.
Yeah, I
To
just
represent
posted
your
what a horizon is,
360-degree
dumbass.
sphere. Yeah. Now look at my picture, cunt. If your
Yeah, your
circle's no
picture
different than mine,
is not
2D,
what a
bitch.
horizon
2D
is.
math. 2D
Your
math.
picture
Do you know what
is
that
not
is,
what
bitch?
a horizon
Look at
is.
my circle. Stop arguing with math.
I don't want to
cunt.
look at your
Science,
circle.
proof.
That's very rude.
Don't argue with math, cunt. The proof is right in front of you, bitch. Don't get mad, ho. Don't run from your non-existent horizon. There's
You
nothing
don't
stopping
even know
you
what
from
a
going up
horizon
or out.
is. Oh, Shines, thank you
There
for putting
isn't
those side by
one.
side.
I'm showing you there isn't one on a globe. It only exists on a flat Earth, cunt.
Because you don't know what
Don't you
horizon
understand
is.
that?
There's
There's
no horizon
no
on a
dirt
flat
and
Earth.
water in front of you, looking away from a sphere. There is no dirt and water. I drew you the fucking demonstration. Are you, too dumb to get it, second grader? Go get a little kid and see if they understand what I'm telling them about a sphere, bitch.
My
Go get a little
daughter would
kid.
laugh at you.
So maybe you don't would know what I'm saying. I'd
My
say
daughter
which
would
line is
laugh at
vertical,
you.
little kid. I'd say which line is vertical, little kid, and they'd point at that one line going up.
Neither
from
of those
the
are
L.
vertical
And
to
I'd
the
say,
globe.
which one's horizontal? Which one's horizontal, little kid? They'd point at the bottom. Then I'd say put a diagonal 45 degree in the middle of that, little kid. They'd have no problem. You
So
would,
what
though,
you're
cunt,
saying
wouldn't
is you don't know what a horizon is.
What you're saying is you're arguing with my 360 degree perfect 2D math globe. Why are you running
So
from
you
your?
don't know
I'm
what
still
horizon
making your
is.
globe.
So you
That
don't
is
know
your
what horizon
it's
is.
right there.
Yeah, but
there
that's
isn't
not
one.
what horizon is.
Show me the horizon from that guy in my picture, bitch.
I
We'll
drew
wait.
a picture. Look at my picture. It's much
No,
better.
we're going by mine. I
Well,
picked
yours
my
doesn't make
spot.
sense.
Show me the horizon of my
Yours
360.
doesn't make sense.
No, yours doesn't, cunt.
Mine does. Yours doesn't.
Apparently, bitch. So magically yours does, but mine doesn't when they're the same
Yes.
sphere. What's going on?
Absolutely,
Globe math?
mine makes sense and yours doesn't.
So you pick your spot. I pick mine. Where we having a problem at, ho? My spot's
problem
everywhere
is
you
that
can
you
stand.
don't understand
Keep
what
spinning the
horizon
ball.
is.
Spin the ball, bitch. Now, where are you at on the ball? Spin it. You're gonna end up on my point, cunt. Sometime, ho. Shut your fucking retard mouth like you
So
don't know
you
how
don't
a
know
ball
what
works,
a
bitch.
horizon. Demok.
Every position
have
is
no
that
clue, do
position
you?
on a globe. That's where you are on a globe all the time. Right now, that's where you are, bitch. There is no horizon, ho.
The
now,
horizon
if you
is
look out your
equidistant
window,
around you.
if you would look out your
Hey,
window
Demok,
and
do you know
notice
what the word
there's dirt,
equidistant means?
there is dirt out your window, then you are not on a globe, cunt.
Demok, do you know what
if
the word
you will
equidistant
notice out
means?
your window,
Demok,
there
do you know
is
what the word-
dirt and
Demok,
water. There is no
Demok,
globe. There is no horizon on a ball.
Demok,
Do you understand?
Demok,
Do you
know what the word?
understand this?
Demok, do you know what the word equidistant means?
Do you know what a 360 is? I have it drawn on paper. It's right
Yes,
there.
yeah,
Draw
so
it out.
do you know what
Draw it on my
equidistant
drawing.
means?
Write it on my drawing, cunt. 360 is right there for you, bitch. Use it. Show us what equidistant is, bitch. The
Do
drawing
you
is
know
there,
what
ho.
equidistant means?
My drawing is right there. Demonstrate.
It's
cunt.
two-dimensional.
Or shut the fuck
I
up.
can't draw an
You
equidistant
can't draw
on a
what you
sphere
don't
on 2D.
understand. We know. Your comprehension, you can't draw it. We know, bitch.
You are
Next try.
actually insane, aren't
Try
you?
again, retard globe math
You
that
are
doesn't work on a
actually
sphere
insane,
now.
aren't you? Like
No, you are, bitch,
it's
running from a
crazy
circle.
how
You're the one
mental
running
you
from
are.
your circle, bitch. Math.
You
Why
don't
are you
even know
running
what
from your
equidistant
globe?
means or what horizon is.
Do you draw it on the fucking diagram I've given you,
I
ho?
can't because it's two-dimensional.
It's
You can't draw
360,
equidistant.
bitch.
You can't draw equidistant on 2D.
69 fucking miles per degree, bitch. It's right
69.1
there,
actually,
all
get it
scaled
right.
down.
69.1.
It's scaled
actually,
down. Get it
right.
right. Get it tight, math, boy. You
What
don't know how to
scale is it?
divide.
Oh, it's
You
scaled
don't know how to
down. Tell
practice.
me
Do the
what
math,
scale
cunt.
is it? What scale
Measure
is
it out. Figure it out,
what,
math.
What
low,
scale
bitch.
did you do it from?
400 times different, bigger than the moon, farther than the sun. You don't know math, globe math, bitch. You don't know math. All of a sudden,
Demo,
perspective.
can we talk about your diagram? Could you tell me what
Stop
scale on it
asking me to
is?
do your globe math. My math is
No, no.
already done. It's the globe on the paper.
Could you
Stop.
show me? Could you show me the scale?
Stop running. It's
you show
on
me
the
the scale?
paper.
Stop
Yeah,
with
where's the
Scale it
scale?
up or scale it down. It's never going to change from 360, cunt. Let's
Where's
go.
the scale? What what
Scale
scale
it up,
is it?
360.
One
Can I
to
use
how
this
many?
opportunity to really stress the fact that
No, you
King
can't.
County is
360
missing
fucking
out
degrees.
on a huge, swath of education.
Yeah, no, you can't because I don't want to talk to Pose.
You're missing out. You
Sinclair,
guys
you
should be
can
here
mute
for the
yourself.
future event. I
Oh,
killed
I
the
just mute him.
globe
I don't want to talk
with
to
its
Pose.
own math. This
Well,
dumbass cunt can't show me where I'm wrong at. Show me where I have a fucking horizon on my diagram, please.
No, listen up, Muck, real quick. Sing Cleanser, you can unmute yourself and you can also mute FTFE. If he's going to play the game like that and just constantly mute you, you can do the same thing to him. So he can't talk on his show either. Like,
No,
this
I can
is
still
bullshit.
talk.
You came
I
here,
don't want to talk to a
yeah,
Poe.
on your channel.
I'm doing
I don't want to
They're
talk
here,
to
yo.
a Poe. I have no interest in
Then
talking
you
to a
should
Poe.
not have come here and said that you wanted to have a debate with him.
Yeah, we're going
And
over
once
the
I
map.
figured out he was a
For
Poe,
years.
I no longer
We
want to
are
speak to him.
360 degrees,
Yeah.
spiritual 2D
You know
circle
who
map.
Sing
You don't
Cleanser
ha-
is?
handle your ass whipping you're getting, boy.
Talk to Sing Cleanser
Handle
multiple
this ass whooping, bitch.
I've never spoken to
everything.
Sing Cleanser
Like, chill out.
before, ever.
Yes, you have.
No, I've never spoken to him before, ever.
Yes, let me ask Sin Cleanser a question. Sin Cleanser, have you talked to FTFE on past asylums, or when even Hammer was there recording stuff, and all of the different servers that we have? Have you ever had a conversation with FTFE? He's saying he's never spoken to you once this entire time.
I've never spoken to him. I've never spoken to Sin Cleanser, ever. Ever.
That's
I've never
bullshit.
spoken to him.
Sin Cleanser,
It's a
what
fact.
say you? Okay, what do you say, Sin?
You can't say anything because he's muted.
Well, stop muting him so he can answer.
No, I don't want to talk to
Or are
him.
you too afraid for? Are you? Yeah, because you're too afraid for him to answer, saying that yes, he has spoken to you.
Well, I've never spoken to him. This is a fact.
Hold up. Okay, Steve, has Sin Cleanser talked to FTFE before? Because I have, you have, Sin Cleanser has, Apocryphon has, Hammer has, Harp has. All of us have spoken. I've even spoken
Harp,
to you
this is the
multiple
first time I've
times.
ever spoken to Harp.
When I was
actually, as
there
well.
with no, that's not true either. In past
No, it is
asylums
true.
that existed, you have a bad memory then, because
I've
we
not
have
been in
all
past
spoken to you
asylums.
prior. Yes, we have. Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Oh, I think
That's
I came when
amazing.
Don was
Yeah.
running it, but I've never spoken to Sin Cleanser or Harp. Ever.
It's bullshit. Well, maybe if you could ask him, he would answer. But since you're going to be a coward,
I don't
who
need
came
to
here
ask him.
actually debate him.
Well, yeah, but he's a Poe.
can't
I
let him
figured out
get
he's a
word
Poe,
out.
so why would I want to debate a Poe?
That would be
Listen,
legendary.
okay.
Why would I want to debate a Poe? I don't understand.
I could just say one
seriously
thing.
have a problem.
But
Like, just
why-
let him
why
say what
would
he
I
needs
want to
say.
debate a
What's
Poe?
wrong with you? Why are you such a scaredy cat? Let him say
Why
what he
would I
needs
want to
say.
debate a
Poe?
Poe?
As if you're not.
Why would I
what a
want to
chicken.
debate a Poe?
What a scaredy cat. You
I
are
have
such a scaredy cat.
Just tell me, Signs. Why would I want to debate a
Right.
Poe?
It's also funny, too. You'll talk to D-Mock, but you won't talk to Sin?
Democ's
Yeah,
not
that-
a Poe. He's
that's the
stupid.
point.
He's afraid of my drawing. He's
What's
afraid
going
that
on here?
horizontal,
Yeah,
horizontal and vertical
I have to agree
are
with
the same
Hines.
distance, PH Tony.
Tony,
Tony, can you add?
Tony.
I
Hold on, D-Mock, really quick. Thank you, Tony. Thank you for agreeing with me.
I got a 90-degree L.
is a complete
It's a
waste of
90-degree
time.
L on my ball.
Talking
on my
with him
spherical
is
360.
basically flushing everyone's life down the toilet.
Hey,
And he cannot even. I mean, I will say that I think that Sin Cleanser is not constructive, but he is at least civil, right?
he's a
not.
Poe.
Thank you. Thank you. Good sir. Thank you, good sir.
He's not just abusive.
Yeah, he's a
so
great
I
guy.
consider
So
him
is
a-
Thank you,
PH
good
Flyer.
sir.
Tony, I agree with you. He's not
such a
abusive,
smart-
but
you're a
I
charming
try to be,
If I ask
try to
you
be
a
accurate
question,
and
would you be
fair. And
able
I
to answer
think
it? Would you be
Shines
too
has
fucking
been
dumb?
civil. She's made her point. She's been emphatic. Steve A has been, moderately rude at times, but he's been generally good.
You've been a dumb
Sin
bastard
Cleanser
who
hasn't
can't
been that
debate.
rude. Dimmock is just a complete waste of biomass.
No, you're just a waste of math,
time and
bitch.
oxygen
You're a
that
waste
you're never
of
getting
fucking
back.
mathematics. You're a waste of schooling.
So I agree
You're a
with
waste
Shines.
of schooling.
If I were
You're
you,
a waste of
FTFE, I
money
would,
and school.
I would mute
You're a
Dimmock.
waste of academics.
But
You're an
Can I
academic
get a
waste.
word in? I just want to say, PH Tony.
I agree with you, Tony, that Sin Cleanser is more civil, but Sin Cleanser is clearly a Poe, and I've no interest in talking to Poes.
Well, can I say something to Tony real quick?
No, you can't.
Tony.
Well,
Sin Cleanser, I do not want to talk to you. You are a Poe.
I'm just trying to talk to Tony.
I think that it's a. I think that it is.
Real quick, Tony. Tony.
Yep, I'm listening.
He's muting you.
So this is it, right? This is what you
This
get.
is what it comes
Yeah,
to.
this is what we
Uses
get.
you of
I'm
being a
trying-
pro and
hey,
mutes
Tony,
you. That's
I
right.
mean, he's a Poe.
I just wanna say,
He's
Tony,
proven
I
he's a
don't-
Poe.
I
Harp,
really
you're not a
respect
Poe.
what you. Harp is a legend. Okay.
Why did I
Yeah,
wanna
no, I'm
hear
saying
that?
Harp's not a Poe, but you are a Poe, Sin Cleanser. This is
Well,
just
I'm
a
not
fact.
trying to talk. Okay, if you don't want to talk, that's fine. There's no requirement that you
Well,
talk with me.
yeah,
I want to say to,
you're a Poe, so
let me
why
just
would I
say-
want to
let me
talk to a
just-
Poe?
Can I get a word? This is impossible. I just want to.
I've asked one question and no one's
just wanna
answered it.
say
Why would
something
I
to
want
Tony.
to talk to a Poe?
I want to
Okay.
say something to Tony.
Well, answer my question
I would
first.
like to.
Tony, you have a very respectable opinion about the matter here. And for you to have such great insight, for you to see that it's not that we're running away from any sort of rational discussion here, but it's that they prefer not to have one. So
I
It's
can
not that
understand.
it's not that we're running away. It's that we, most flat earthers have only ever been.
You're not a flat
censored.
earther though. You are a Poe.
And this is just a prime example. This is the evidence of flat Earth censorship. And this is why I'm the people's champion. This is why I'm the people's champion, because they elected me to talk to you, Fight the Flat Earth.
There, he's just proving he's a Poe again. That's it.
Okay.
Everything that he's done during this conversation is just proven he's a Poe. Because he will ask for evidence, we'll present him evidence, he says that's not evidence.
So.
He even asks for specific types of evidence that we will then say we'll give to him, and he says straight up that he won't accept it.
You're stuttering, Craig.
I didn't stutter once then.
Well, may I take the opportunity to respond to what Sin Cleanser said?
Go ahead, Tony.
I would very much like to have good faith conversations with flat earthers, and the reason I'm here is not to defend the globe. It's actually to help people who I think are making a mistake and wasting their life on something that is false. It's a fantasy. It's a waste of time. I can understand why people get there, but I think that it's harmful to them.
So you're a concerned troll. That's what you are.
I am trying to actually help people.
Get out of Christ,
that's the way
and in my but in order for that to happen, I need to have the information that I'm going to present be dealt with something other than, well, I wasn't there when that was done, therefore that just isn't real. Because that basically renders the entire conversation pointless. And it's accusing every professional scientist on the planet of just being a liar. And I find that.
No, it's not. And I know it doesn't matter how many times you hear the fucking explanations, you will just go back to your bullshit. That's what you're doing. You're a concerned troll. You need to just get the fuck out of here. Nobody needs a concerned troll at all.
Harp, if let me jump in for a quick second and just ask a quick question to PhD over here. How do you explain buildings all being built observing level, not the word level as defined in the stupid dictionary, but the actual tool called the level, 8 foot in length, 10 foot in length, on they build these buildings observing plumb all over the world.
So that depends on the length scale, right? So as I've said multiple times, there are length scales over which it is perfectly valid, and you will get accurate results treating the Earth as flat. Okay, to say that you have to take curvature into account in every operation, in every thing that you do, is wrong. Obviously, the vast majority of human endeavors and constructions, you can just treat the Earth as flat and get perfectly accurate results. It's only when you try building something that's really, really long, or that needs to be really, really precise, that you need to start taking curvature effects into account. The effects of curvature scale with inversely to radius. So the larger, if you've got a very small ball, it's very round. If you've got a really big ball, it's really flat. We live on a really big ball, therefore it's essentially flat over short distances. This is that's how I understand. That's how I reconcile your data set there. I agree, over short distances, the Earth can be treated as flat. And as has been pointed out multiple times in this conversation, my PhD thesis involved the use of flat Earth models. We use flat Earth models all the time because they're a lot simpler, and we still get accurate results over short distances.
That radius, though, has been debunked multiple times with multiple observations.
The radius has never been
observations, and you have a ridiculous amount of evidence that you demand. There's evidence, but stop. No. What's your name? You fucking Poe kid. Here's some basic psychology for you. Anybody that gets called out as a liar,
buddy. Relax, buddy.
Shut up. Anyone that gets called out, shut up. Anyone that gets called out as a liar and a Poe, you're going to defend your position. If I didn't murder someone and someone said you murdered them, I'm going to say no.
What are you talking about? Murder? What?
You've been called out as a Poe multiple
Slow
times.
Slow down, bro.
And you start. Well, sorry, you can't keep up.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah, you're getting wild.
You're talking about murder and all sorts of weirdo. Like,
what the fuck is going on here?
I promise you, I'm not getting loud.
You sound like a Glover. Just chill out, Glover. Hey,
I'm chill.
You gotta
this is
chill,
me chill.
bro. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird now. You can't talk about murder and shit. It's weird.
Well,
and I know you're a
an
Glover
analogy.
because Glover said
It's an analogy.
This motherfucker.
I honestly haven't a clue who's arguing with who at this point. I've lost control.
You're a Glover. This guy's a Glover. This guy's talking about murder.
What a Wisecroft isn't. He's a flip flopper.
Okay, can I?
But I have to take their side.
I'm just going to be.
I have
Okay,
to-
Wisecroft.
You're not relevant right now.
Are we
buddy.
ready?
You're not relevant right now.
Wisecroft is the
Are we
person
ready?
talking
Has this
about
been
murder.
debunked? Hear me out. Hear me out.
Radius has never been debunked.
That's
No, it
not what
hasn't.
this is about right now.
Radius hasn't been debunked. That's a lie.
A Poe.
I'm debunking it right now.
Poe
You can't
in our
debunk
fucking
Radius.
community, and you're not even defending it when he's blatantly calling you, you're a Poe, you're a lying piece of shit, you're a Poe, you're a Poe.
Who are you
You're a
talking
Poe,
about?
And you don't, you idiot.
You know I haven't been able to speak the last hour, bro.
FTFE has called you a Poe
You know,
multiple
I don't know why
times.
you're
okay,
talking,
champ,
Defend
listen,
yourself.
bud. Listen, buddy.
And
I've
you
been-
smirk when as
Listen.
soon as he says
Go
it, you
over
start
the
smirking with the next
This
thing
is the
you
whole
say.
episode. Is I
Anyone
can't ever
who's
say
not
anything.
lying-
The
this
whole
is
episode
basic
can be
psychology.
summarized by
Basic
Sin Cleanser
psychology.
can't talk. Right?
Anyone who's not lying
This is like-
going to say,
I
hey,
think
I
people
am
can
not
see
a
this for
Poe.
what it is. Really.
What? For me calling you out on
I
your
think the
bullshit?
history
Can I
books will
I'm
say
going to-
Sin
Okay.
Cleanser never got to talk.
Wisecroft,
You know.
Wisecroft, take a breath. Let Sin Cleanser respond.
Let's just no, dude. Okay, so hey, buddy, you're calling me all sorts of names, man.
Not your buddy.
Okay, hey,
You're a liar.
guy. Okay,
And a
guy.
Poe.
Listen, guy. You were calling me all sorts of names. I've been muted the last hour, bro.
FTFE called you a
That's a
Poe
fact.
directly
That's a
multiple times,
Yeah,
and you
and
respond
you know what?
by it
You
with
know
a
what?
smirk
You know
in your
what?
voice. With a
Listen,
smirk
listen.
in your voice, you completely walk
I'm
right
having a
past
good time. I'm not mad. You're the one frustrated, bro.
Any-
Chill out.
No.
You were talking
It's-
about murder not
okay,
even
I'm
5
always
minutes ago.
frustrated.
Chill
Yeah,
out.
That's an
Chill out,
analogy.
dude.
That's an analogy. If you didn't
People
murder
can hear
somebody
you for what
and
you're doing,
someone
bro.
tells you that you're a
People can hear
murderer,
you.
You're gonna say, "I didn't murder."
People
that.
can
I
hear
didn't
you,
steal
man.
that."
I'm
Great,
loving that
perfect.
flat
Awesome.
earthers
Like,
are
why
having
can't
a good sing
like Tony?
right now.
I
This
was
is
wanting to
basic
talk with Tony because
psychology.
Tony seems like he's a completely capable man who can rationally
I
talk
talk
about
about
certain
it.
things.
Yeah,
And I was like,
Tony,
let's get into
Tony.
it. Let's go.
And you're
let's
not.
go.
You're a lying
And
Poe.
I've
You
been.
make
It's
flat
just.
earthers.
This is how Globers. This is like Glober behavior. You know.
You
and
are
I'm
a
not
Glober,
here
Sin
running
Cleanser.
away,
Stop pretending you're not a
I'm out
Glober.
here trying to have a rational
may I-
conversation with a fellow person who can think about science, and it's just impossible.
Science.
It's like
May I-
it's
may
a
I-
crisis of you know.
Right,
speech.
PhD
I
Tony's
can't
trying to say
even
something.
get a
Can we
word
let
in.
can we let PhD Tony say
Okay.
something a second?
Well, first off, I want to apologise for butting in on Sin Cleanser, but Weisskopf, what you're saying is I would respond this way to these allegations. He isn't responding that way,
That's a
therefore he's
baseline
lying.
psychology tactic used by police interrogators.
There are. Are you a police interrogator? Is that what you're claiming?
No, but I
No, then
understand
stop.
this
I
psychology.
guarantee you there's a
behind
couple
it.
cops
There are
in here.
common
I
police
can smell
tactics.
it. There's a
And
cop in here
in
somewhere.
100% of the cases, you will get a negative response.
One of the grown-up
You will get
ways.
called out.
One of
You
the
say,
grown-up
"No,
ways
I'm
of
not a
responding
Poe."
to false allegations is to simply treat them as beneath your beneath contempt, and that you don't need
address
to
it.
respond to them.
You address
Sin
it with
Cleanser,
past
Sin
class.
Cleanser
You
is
address it.
Sin Cleanser is employing an entirely valid technique
You don't know what you're
for
saying.
for
Thank you,
treating
Tony.
these allegations.
I gotta be honest, Tony. I
privilege.
got a lot of respect for you, Tony, for what like there. It's a very it's a very infrequent opportunity for me to be able to talk with a Glober that has such a capable-minded understanding of, and it's just rational. It's just decency. It's just common decency. You know?
Yeah, thank you,
and,
Tony.
and it's
We
weird that we
appreciate
have to argue for common decency anymore.
But
Tony.
you are a
It's
Poe,
kind of
Sin
weird.
Cleanser.
It's
That's
getting weird out
facts,
here,
right?
man.
But you are
getting
opposing.
D-Mark and Tony.
It's just getting weird.
You ever trust a Globe? They all work for
Let
the
Tony
government.
and D-Mark
All of
talk.
them.
Have a talk.
I refuse to talk to Dimark. He is a complete waste of time. He is muted.
Tony?
I have
Dimark's a
muted.
legend.
I don't
We'll
want
have a
to. I
nice
don't.
conversation. Can't you explain that?
Yeah, I'll have an. I can have a nice conversation with Sin Cleanser. I can have a nice conversation with you. But
I was, you know what, Tony? I was hoping that tonight would be an evening of us actually shooting the shit, actually getting down to the bottom of some of this stuff, just for clarification purposes. Like,
so why did you? Right, Sinclair, give me a sec. Then Sinclair, give me a sec. One sec. Wait, if that's what you wanted, then why did you spend the entire conversation that we did have gaslighting? Because that and sea lining. That is how you approach this conversation with a.
How do you start a fire? It takes a little fuel. It takes a little fuel, my man.
You were gaslighting and sea lining the entire time instead of having a decent conversation because you are a po.
Look, all these guys are government people.
I'm trying to ignite a conversation that will be remembered. And listen.
Well, no. What you do is ignore when you have a conversation. You just ignore evidence.
What the hell?
You just ignore
I feel like
evidence.
I'm in an upside down limbo world talking to you guys because I can't even engage with you guys because you just go wild. It's crazy. Like,
because you just keep talking and saying nothing.
No. It's not that. Like, dude, there's nobody running anyway. I'm right here. We got all the time in the world. We have all the time in the world.
But you are a po.
Okay, you can call me all sorts of names. You know,
no, it's not calling you a name. I am saying this is what you are. I'm not insulting you. I am defining you. You are a po. You're not a real flat earther. You are pretending to be a flat earther.
I'm capable. I'm very articulate. I can express myself.
Yeah, because you're a po. Because you're not an actual flat earther.
I can't mute it. You keep muting me.
Yeah, because you're not a flat earther, and I only want to talk to flat earthers.
You know, I tried. You can't say I didn't fucking try. You can't say I didn't try. Okay. I try to fight the good fight. You can't even have a conversation.
Fight. It can happen that during a conversation, somebody, in the early portions of a conversation, somebody can adopt a position and adopt a stance and say things, and then later on realize that that isn't constructive to the conversation. And in that situation, they need to be permitted the opportunity to say, okay, let's recast the conversation. And if you cut that off, and if you just say, no, I'm not going to permit an apology, I'm not going to permit a recast, I think you're being unfair, and I think you're cutting off one of the sort of more civil and more articulate of your interlocutors.
I'm trying out here, Tony.
Yeah, but
it's not that we don't want to
the
talk
problem
about
is,
it. It's like
I agree with you, Tony, but the problem is that he is not having this conversation in good faith because he's a po. He does not believe the Earth is flat.
You're accusing me. I can't even defend myself. You're just accusing me of all these different things. And I feel like you're squandering a real opportunity of a really productive conversation.
Everything that you have done has shown that you are
and it's impossible.
But everything you have done is
well, that's why I wanted
to
give a shout out to Tony, because the voice of reason all of a sudden.
Wait, hold on. If you weren't a po, then you
somebody I disagree with. But it's like,
hold on.
It's hard to even talk.
Hold on. If you weren't, let me finish. I'm still talking. If you weren't a po, then you wouldn't do things like go, show me the data. And then when me and Tony both said, what happens when we show you the data? You literally said, I'll just ignore the data. That is something a po would do. If you weren't a po, you wouldn't have done that.
You'd also, on a very basic level, say, no, I'm not a po. I genuinely believe the Earth is flat. Please don't call me things that I'm not.
Listen, dude.
If you want a genuine conversation, then we can do that,
I can't even defend myself anymore. There's nothing that I even can say.
Okay.
Government. You've been exposed as a po.
Dude, here's the thing, buddy. I've been in Flat Earth longer than you have, and I can prove it. Anybody who knows me knows that I've been in Flat Earth a long motherfucking time. Probably
in the conversation doesn't mean you
listen,
believe.
Okay, if you're going to try to write me off, that's fine. Most people do. But you know what most people can't do? Talk to me. They can't talk. They can't have a civil conversation about the science. They can't talk about the facts. They can't talk about the data. They can't talk about them. And I'm ready to go. I was looking forward to it, and I've spent the last 2 hours muted and abused and called names and accused.
All right, Sin Cleanser. Okay, I will give you another chance. All right, Sin Cleanser. Sin Cleanser, I'll give you a chance. All right, if you're not a po, then don't act like a po. It's simple. All right. Actually,
I don't even know what that means. What do you mean I'm acting like a po? I'm defending the flat Earth. I've been doing it for years.
But you're not.
Why are you calling me a po?
Because
everybody who knows me can testify as God is my witness.
It seems like they can't win the argument.
This is crazy. You guys are just wild.
Again,
There's a bunch of wild child.
They work for the government.
Oh no.
Sinclair, if you are genuine, then have a genuine conversation, right? Don't act like a Poe and just deny everything that we say.
Okay, so let's
start over.
Right? Okay, let's start over and let's go back to the original thing that I brought up, and you just went, I don't believe it. And that's gravity anomaly navigation on submarines. And you just went, oh, lovely story, right? But I posted in the chat.
What did you expect me to say? I don't know what you're talking about. So listen. Okay.
So I explained it.
Slow down. All right. When you say gravitational anomalies, I don't really know what you mean. I don't even think
I was explaining it.
I know, but you can't call me a Poe for saying I don't know what you mean.
What the hell? You didn't say that. You just said my story.
This is not a conversation. This is just weird.
May I explain what a gravitational anomaly is? So in scientific terms, an anomaly is a deviation from some assumed average. So we assume an average value for whatever it is we're measuring it, and any deviation from that average is called an anomaly. That's what and Whitsitt commonly misuses this to make it sound like gravitational anomalies are things that can't be explained. That's not what a gravitational anomaly is. It's a deviation.
Well, Whitsitt, to be fair, Tony, I don't mean to cut you off, but Whitsitt is not here, and there's a problem. And I'm not trying to like bash on you or anything, but there's a problem with in the flat Earth community is that most flat earthers seemingly have to answer for other flat earthers.
Right, well, let's not go off on a tangent.
A lot of other flat earthers really hate that. They're like, Huey said this. Nathan Oakley said that.
Sinclair, stop.
Like, dude,
you're taking off on a tangent. Sinclair, stop. You're taking off on a tangent. All right, let's just stick to the point.
It's just, well, I can't answer for somebody else. You know, I mean, I'm talking to you. I can't answer for somebody else. So, like, relate to me on the fact that, like, when I say I don't know what a gravitational anomaly is, you don't have to tell me what Whitsitt says.
Okay.
Because honestly, honest to God, it's more
just listen. Just let him explain why I interrupted. All right.
I'm gonna go piss. Yeah, I'm gonna go take a break.
Since we're about to explain it,
please do. You noticed the difference, though, Tony, when you brought up the thing like last week or whenever that I genuinely didn't know. I said, "Oh, I have no idea. I haven't looked into that." I don't say no. That's bullshit. I don't say that.
Well,
that's a Poe. That's Poe behavior. Not only the blatant not addressing.
Actually, okay, Vice Scott. We do see just from a lot of genuine flat earthers. So the fact that you're different from a lot of flat earthers doesn't make those flat earthers not genuine flat earthers.
When you're being called a Poe multiple times and you just laugh in response.
Well,
you hear him laughing, basically.
Well, it's an accusation that gets thrown around a lot, and a lot of people don't really understand what it means. And and indeed, Sinclair himself said he doesn't understand what Craig is saying. But to get back to what a gravitational To get back to what a gravitational anomaly is, we can measure the strength of gravity. We've got multiple instruments that can measure the acceleration, the downward, the acceleration that objects experience close to Earth. We've got multiple ways of measuring that, and they give consistent results. When we do this, when we move those instruments around and measure, we find that the strength of that acceleration varies. That it is relatively constant at the same point. It does vary a little bit, but it's relatively constant. But when you move them around, you get significant variations. I say significant, but it's down at the third, fourth decimal point. And you can map the strength of gravity. You can map the downward acceleration that objects experience, and sometimes it's higher and sometimes it's lower, and that's what a gravitational anomaly is. And not only can you measure the direct acceleration, you can measure gradients in the acceleration. So you can measure how the gravitational acceleration varies over distance. One of the earliest instruments used for this was the torsion balance, which was two masses on a lever that you could adjust, which would tell you the direction of the gradient, but also how big the gradient was. And this was invented more than 100 years ago, and was used to find oil deposits in Texas in 1924. So these observations of the strength of gravity have been around for hundreds of years now. This is not something that's just new that we just made up. Anyway.
Hey Tony, so you're around Earth, yeah?
Yes.
Right.
Well,
and you sound vaccinated. Did you take jabs?
Random. That's nothing to do with this conversation.
Wait, wouldn't the best way to measure gravity would be by curvature, right? Because
there's a common pattern here between trusting science, the government, and pharmaceutical companies. It's a common theme I see with people from the political left.
Science and government are not synonymous.
So,
this is nothing to do with vaccinations. Don't be dumb.
So I understand. I understand that you don't want to talk about gravity and you'd rather deflect the conversation.
No. Hey,
I just assign it to something else. Nobody's deflecting.
No, gravity is a scam, and you're trying to strawman the fact that it exists, and there's no proof gravity exists.
Well, apart from the fact it's used all the time.
There are companies that produce gravity meters, right? There are companies that produce gravimeters.
Sweet.
How do they stay in business?
Wait, wouldn't the easiest way to prove gravity would be by proving curvature? Because if there is gravity, then therefore curvature. So if there is no gravity, then no curvature exists.
No, that's not the easiest way to prove. That's not the easiest way to prove gravity.
What pulls a sphere into a sphere? What's the force that you claim?
That would be, it would be gravitational acceleration of the material components of the body.
Okay, so if we don't find curvature, then we don't find gravity.
But we can prove gravity independent of the shape of the Earth.
You can prove an acceleration of items that fall down. Sure, we all agree with that.
That's what gravity is.
Terminal velocity. You know what terminal velocity means? It means shit can't go any faster when it hits a certain speed. There is no more acceleration. It's called terminal velocity. So what happens now? You got another formula? Of course you do.
Yes, we do.
That's, more than one force can exist at a time.
That's due to air resistance. Fight is exactly right. You seem to have difficulty with the idea that multiple forces can apply to the same body, or multiple accelerations can apply to the same body.
You definitely
do.
Well, then
that's it. Talk over me. When something is falling, it's falling because of how dense it is. We're not even going to talk about the ether.
Density is not a force.
As dense as that is against the air that is not as dense, it is falling. Once it hits a certain point, you're going to have air friction. Well, you're always going to have air friction. But once it hurts a certain point...
Density is not a force. It can't cause acceleration.
Oh, boy. I know. You carry on.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're afraid to let me say a complete sentence. You are a bunch of dishonest, lying assholes.
You're afraid to listen to
They work for the government.
No, you didn't listen to me,
You just want to parrot what everyone says.
All Globers work for the government.
So shut up, Hart.
Not vice versa. You
Was that all
didn't
Globers
listen
work
to
for the
me,
government?
Dumbass.
All right, Hart, how does density work with submarines using gravity anomalies to navigate? How does density work with that?
Shut the fuck up. There's no
Well,
gravity.
again, I worked with the systems to navigate submarines using gravity, so it definitely exists.
No gravity. That submarine does not use gravity.
What apart from so what was I working on? What systems was I working on?
Let me explain.
It was gravity. What you were seeing is an advanced fish finder.
An advanced fish finder.
So fish finders.
Yeah, that's how
fish finders.
the shit that's in the fucking water.
The fish finders use sonar.
You know what? Yeah,
and the whole thing about submarines. The whole thing about submarines is that they rely on stealth.
Yeah.
So they have to be very careful about using sonar. There are situations where they don't want to use their sonar to work out what's around them. So in that case, they have to have some passive detection system for detecting the topography around them. And this is where the gravity gradiometers that submarines use became necessary. And this gravity gradiometry is used by mineral exploration companies to find mineral deposits all over the world. And you can claim that it's bullshit, and you can claim that it's nonsense.
They're not using gravity.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah.
I mean, you keep saying it's bullshit, but it works, and it's based on gravity.
Using
so.
X-rays to. What are you even talking about, dude? Gravity is bullshit.
It's not. I've measured gravity personally. It's not bullshit.
Okay, so why am I paid? Why am I paid?
A word. You just keep
why
talking.
am I?
When I talk, you overtalk me. So that's what I'm going to do for you right now, right? Because that's how you treat me. Just keep overtalking. That's what I'm going to do with you, right?
I didn't overtalk.
I'm just going to fucking
Tony, how many vaccines did you have?
You won't fucking listen. You
shut up about the vaccines, moron.
Shit. That proved nothing.
He's had about 5. He's had brain damage.
Shut up about the vaccines, dipshit.
So what constitutes proof for you? If I go out and I measure how far something falls at one point, and I measure how far something falls at another point, and they're different, how is that not proof that something is going on?
We assign that. The flat Earth argument is we assign that to something else. It's not just a direct mass attacking mass creating spheres.
All right, so let's come up with a test.
We don't know exactly what it is. Sorry, again.
Let's come up with a test. Okay, if it's density and buoyancy, then let's construct let's go onto a lake that is covered by ice. We can't see the bottom of the lake. Okay, if it's density and buoyancy, then it's just dependent on the air above the ice. If it's gravity, then the mass below the ice has some effect on the rate of falling above the ice. Okay, so now we've got a test. We can test whether or not we can use the acceleration above the ice to work out what the mass distribution below.
You're missing the point, though, that I'm making. Is that any true flat earther that's looked into the Cavendish that understands your stance on gravity and what the mass attracting mass is, we assign it to something else. Here's just a random thought that popped in my head. It could be some sort of a disturbance in the ether that's created by mass existing in any place, not necessarily attracting to one another.
So you're just giving gravity another name, then?
Electric. Sure, yeah, but it's based off of likely the ether. That's the most important.
Well, that's a lovely hypothesis, and how are you going to test that?
And provide evidence for your claim.
All three of those different.
Right. So Weisskopf, here's the thing.
You don't have any evidence. You don't have any.
You guys just conveniently bounce between to fit your argument in any situation. Is a much better explanation when you bring an ether background into the picture.
You don't have any evidence.
No evidence for that.
Michelson Morley.
Common sense. Michelson Morley didn't disprove anything.
Michelson Morley disproved the ether.
Common sense isn't common when you get to things that you don't understand.
This is a
when
problem because
you're bouncing between systems that contradict themselves, and
they don't contradict themselves
to begin with. Contradicts itself through all three different fields of physics. Contradict themselves. They do.
Nature is under no obligation to make sense to you. Sorry.
Okay,
I didn't say that it did, but an etheric background makes sense of all of the phenomenon that
you're actually obstructing the conversation.
I'm not speaking to you. I was speaking to the other fucking parrot.
Well, the issue you claim that any flat earther that has looked into it doesn't use the buoyancy density argument.
I'm just saying that we're applying just get me right. Don't stop me.
But there are people in this chat who are using the buoyancy density argument that I was dismantling.
Have at it. Okay.
So I am dismantling the buoyancy density argument.
He's got nothing else just to attack bimbos with buoyancy arguments. Wow, way to go, Tony.
No, he's just responding to something that somebody said.
Because it sounded like. So the buoyancy density argument doesn't work because it can't be used to explain the observations. We can use gravitational acceleration to work out mass distributions that we can't see. Mass that is remote from the instrument is affecting results measured by the instrument. That cannot be explained by buoyancy and density. So the buoyancy and density argument simply cannot explain the observations. And you can throw a tantrum and spit the dummy or whatever, but you've got to have some connection between mass distribution and what's being measured by the instrument, because we can
Okay,
work
Tony,
out.
let's get back to practical observations. When I fly an aircraft, why can I see the sun and the moon together?
Why shouldn't you be able to see them?
I don't understand why you wouldn't expect to see the sun and the moon together.
Because it's flat on a round ball. You can't see them. Think about it.
Why wouldn't you be able to see? You can't think in 3 dimensions, can you?
That is absolutely idiotic.
Yeah.
You're the idiot who lives in a round ball spinning. That's dumb shit.
So if you're standing on the ground, you can see the sun and the moon at the same time.
Yeah, but why in an aircraft on a spinning ball? It makes no sense, does it?
Why wouldn't it make sense on an aircraft?
Okay, that is so. What you've tried to do there is falsify a hypothesis that you don't understand. You
I
clearly
fully understand it. Okay,
Well,
how far away is the sun and moon from the flat plane then?
You tell me. I don't know. You guys refuse to give any model.
No, but you reckon it's 93 million miles, yeah, for the sun.
Yes,
and
measures.
300,000.
Okay, let's
Well, it doesn't have a
say
model.
this
You
on-
have multiple different exclusive branches.
Let's say the sun is local. Why does it take 3 days for solar storms to reach Earth?
There's no solar storms.
No,
Solar
there's
storms
definitely
have
solar
never
storms.
been proven. It's a conspiracy theory.
Oh, fuck me. Are you serious?
They have never been proven.
Wrong again. Oh.
Have you not heard of
Well,
like
it's a solar storm.
what
It's a
was it? 19
conspiracy
in
theory.
1982, there was such a large solar storm that like pretty much all satellite communications were out for ages.
Satellites in 1800s?
No, I didn't say in 1800s.
He said
in the
1982.
Okay.
There's no solar storms.
Here's
NASA's
fact check
bullshit.
here.
Stop following their
We have photographs of flares.
No, you don't.
Yes,
We
we do.
actually, I've got
NASA
one
takes
here.
photographs of the sun, this big orange flicking ball with flames on it. Just fake
So-
photographs.
So
This
the
is
sun
this is something that
exploding?
one of my friends took, not NASA. So
Wait, so the
photos
sun
are
is
proof?
exploding? Are you guys
The
admitting the
sun-
sun is exploding with fission and fusion?
No,
But
there's no
it's
flame
all
leaking off
With
it.
fusion,
It's a
not
smooth,
fission.
textured heat lamp. It's over.
not
I
both
met
fusion
someone
and-
whose job was to do communication between Australia and like some of the surrounding nations as aircraft flew in, and they had to get like daily solar reports to see if there were flares, and if there were flares, it disrupted their communication. So their job is based on the idea that the sun has solar
Government's
flares.
idiotic.
You understand?
They would give contracts to retards to,
So it's
to
a-
satisfy whatever agenda.
So I'm
Every
showing
time
right
you're
now.
wrong, you run back to this position.
They
of
spend
government power. That's all
Australian
you do.
government spends billions of dollars on Antarctic research. They don't even do anything down there.
I feel like there's an
Everything really has to do
insurgency
with
of
the government,
Australians.
is that right?
Right, right. Can I get the mic a
You guys
second?
notice the-
Right, can I get? Can I get? Hey guys, please, one sec. Right. So I'm showing on my screen right now a video that was taken by somebody that I know. This isn't NASA or anything. This is someone with their own equipment, and it's a time lapse of solar flares coming off of the sun.
No, there's
Nothing
no
to do with
solar flares,
NASA.
sorry.
Well, oh, so
Hey, Craig.
what did he take these images of then?
Where are you doing a live stream? Is that what you're
Yeah. Both on my
What
live
am I
stream
looking
and
at?
I'm putting it on there.
Hey,
So-
Craig. Hey, Craig.
Hello.
Have you ever seen hydrogen alpha photographs
Have I ever seen hydrogen alpha
Lord.
photographs?
of
No.
the sun? I think
Oh
Tony
no!
probably
Yes,
knows
yeah.
about
Sorry,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, you've seen them. They're
Yeah,
blue. Yeah.
Using the spectroscopy of the different
So
elements. you can see
FTE,
it from
that's a
different ways,
picture of the sun, yeah? No, it's not.
Yeah,
Wait,
this is what someone that isn't
It's not.
NASA. It's someone that I know took of the sun themselves using the equipment, and it's a time lapse.
So you're saying,
Nothing
saying
to do
the
with
sun
color.
is exploding, but at the same time holding everything in?
The sun is nuclear fusion.
And fission, right?
No, it's
Both.
not.
No,
It's
just
not
just
nuclear
fusion,
No,
not
it's
fission,
not.
just fusion.
Oh,
That's
I know.
government
No,
shit.
it's nuclear fusion and fission.
No, it's not
And
fission,
it's
it's fusion.
hydrostatic.
You don't
It's
even know what
hydro-
you're talking about.
There's
It's in
no
It doesn't
fission
look
happening in
like
the
that.
sun.
It's even color, even texture right across.
It's
really
in
not.
hydrostatic equilibrium. The sun is in hydrostatic equilibrium between the force of fusion and the force of gravity.
Can we all agree
Yes.
there's too many Globers talking at once? It's hard for the facts to get through, and if you guys should just share
It's
the
just
mic real
autism
quick,
fucking day of
just a housekeeping. Carry on. It's just that there's a lot of Globers out here all repeating the same stuff, and they're
There's
not
a lot of flat
hearing the
earthers
flat
also
earth
saying the
debunk.
same things.
The flat earthers are
Globers
trying to
can't
politely
research
debunk you,
things.
and you guys are all just
All right, okay.
over-talking.
So what is
And,
the what is the
and
flat
it's
earth
just a
debunk
point
then?
of.
All right, okay. Let's
Well,
move on.
you guys-
Right, let's move on. Let's move on. What is the flat Earth debunk of the sun then? Come on.
No, dude, you said that the sun isn't fusion and fission.
No,
and
it's just
it is.
fusion.
It's
No, it's
recorded. NASA will
not.
tell you this. It is.
The
So
sun
you're
is
saying an
fusion, not
explosion.
fission.
It's both.
Look at this
dude.
fake
Look it
The
up.
sun is
Alright.
fusion, not fission.
Or go and find the NASA website where it says that there's fission occurring in the sun.
Okay.
Can I
I'll go
can I
ahead and
quote
tell
Fight
you
the
that
Flat
it's
Earth?
both
Fight the
fusion
Flat Earth
and
said Fight the Flat Earth. He went live, right? He went live on the Discord. He said to the Flat Earthers, "What am I looking at?" And I said to I was thinking, I don't. Why are you expecting us to answer? I don't know what the hell you're looking at, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
I told you what.
the
I
hell
also
you're
then
looking
told you what we were
I
looking
don't
at.
know.
Maybe you
I
missed
have
that
no
part.
idea
It
what
was
the
a
hell you're
rhetorical
looking at.
Maybe you
question.
missed
If
the
you
part when
listen
I
to the
explained it
conversation,
because you
would
weren't
know.
listening. Yeah. It's not
Why
my
are
fault
you
didn't-
asking us what the hell we're
It
looking
was
at?
a rhetorical question, and if you would listen, you would know that.
No, I think it wasn't rhetorical at all.
It was definitely rhetorical.
Everyone here
It was a cry.
except
It
for
was a
you.
plea of, please. He said, "What am I looking
I
at?"
can explain all this in 5 seconds.
Did he or
if
did
I
he
can- I
not
can tell
say,
you.
"What the hell am I looking at?"
It was a
It was-
rhetorical
That's what
question.
we were saying too. What the hell are you looking at?
Yes,
I can
it was a
explain this in
rhetorical
5
question.
seconds.
Go on.
All Globers wear glasses, contacts, are all blind. I've noticed this. You're all blind as bats.
That's refraction.
Yes or no?
Well, that's wrong
That's
because I don't.
refraction. Snell's
It's
law.
absolutely. It's
Sorry,
absolutely.
did you just
false.
say all Globers wear glasses?
Yep, damaged eye vision. Yep.
You
Are
are
you-
the evidence for it. Your evidence.
Yeah, I'm,
You
I
are the
can always
evidence,
guarantee
Fight
it.
Flat Earth.
I'm all
against it,
Globers,
so-
am I?
You are
I work-
evidence
I don't
that
wear glasses.
Simon Dan doesn't wear
I work
glasses.
in a
Conspiracy Cats doesn't wear glasses.
Because
Or
you're
contacts. He
relying
said
on,
or
on
contact.
data and
Don't
photographs.
cherry
They don't wear
pick
contacts
Besides-
either.
Your evidence and all that's
Well,
fake. It's
you're
all
just
debunked.
wow.
All right, so
Wow.
there are we
Fuck
can
me.
we can prove that there is fusion going on in the sun, or we can find evidence suggesting that fusion is going on in the sun.
And
because we
fission.
can,
Spectroscopy.
no,
There's no
there is
fission.
no
Do you wear glasses or contacts?
I wear glasses,
And
but I
you're
work,
100% blind. Yeah.
I work in a research school. I work in a research school with 200 other Earth scientists, and the vast majority of them don't wear glasses. So your claim is false.
But I knew you were blind.
Well, that's an
because you can't
anecdotal.
see.
You realize that's an
100%.
anecdotal.
So you're calling me a
argument.
liar. You're calling me a
You've
liar.
got to
No.
have
Just you have to realize, Tony. That's what we would call if we were in
Contact
court.
research.
We would say
Contact
that's an
research.
anecdotal.
Eyewitness
This isn't court.
testimony is evidence in Clinton's. Eyewitness
We're
testimony
putting
is
the globe is
admissible
on trial,
as
right?
No,
you
you're
don't,
not.
don't understand
Yes,
the
We
logic
are the
of it.
skeptics. We are challenging you.
So if
I'll be back
I'm
in
on
1 minute.
trial,
I need to pee.
my eyewitness testimony is admissible. If I'm on trial, the stuff that I see and the stuff that I experience is admissible as evidence.
But it's
That's how
anecdotal.
law courts work.
But
Yeah,
but
the
Tony,
claim is
Tony,
exclusive,
Tony.
the
If
claim
I
is
say to you,
exclusive.
Tony,
All. The claim was all globe earthers are
Listen,
blind. That's the claim. So if you can find one globe earther that isn't blind, then his claim is debunked. Do you not
They
understand the
can't
logic of
see.
this?
Can you just slow down?
They don't
Listen,
understand.
Tony,
They
what
don't
we're
shut,
saying is
shut
that
up, Finn,
Finn,
shut up.
what they're reading.
I've just proven the logic of it, so shut
anecdotal.
up and move on.
If I
I've
said
just
I
proven the
saw a
logic, so
ghost,
shut up and move on.
no,
The logic
slow
is,
down.
he
Dude,
said
stop
all,
being
and
so
Tony said
erratic.
he's seen
I
one.
have a banana
You're
peel.
being crazy.
Banana
Slow
peel
down.
comes in so
There's no rush. We have all the time
banana
in the
peel's
world.
evidence that this
Clinton
guy
is
murdered
doing the
people.
call again.
Moderator,
Can we just slow down real quick? I want to
moderator, everyone.
Here's the argument. Here's the argument. If PhD Tony were in court and he had an anecdotal, he said, "My buddy, you know, I saw
When
this,
I was the
whatever."
judge?
That would be equivalent to somebody in court saying, "I saw a ghost."
No,
You
it
know,
wouldn't.
the ghost
people have seen
told
other
me
people
this.
before.
It's
People
just
haven't seen
anecdotal.
ghosts
It
before.
doesn't really amount to that much.
Steve,
And, okay, go ahead, kill each other. I don't know what.
Wait, I went to the toilet. What, I
crazy.
come back and we're talking about ghosts. What's going on?
You guys are going crazy.
Craig, Sin Cleanser is doing the Poe again.
There is a distinction here. Okay.
There's
In the
nothing
sense-
about saying that
Sin
you have
Cleanser, stop 1 second.
Shut up! You're blind. You have no argument.
Okay, I'd like to respond to Sin Cleanser's point. So Sin
Please go
Cleanser is
ahead.
not being a Poe. Sin Cleanser is making an invalid syllogism. Sin Cleanser,
I'm not listening to these fucking blind-ass idiots.
Sin Cleanser is suggesting that me saying that I have many colleagues that don't wear glasses is equivalent to somebody claiming that there are ghosts. No,
Excuse me.
there is no evidence for the existence
That's
of
just your
ghosts.
opinion,
so somebody
buddy.
claiming
Your opinion
that
doesn't cut it in court.
they saw a ghost.
Your fucking opinion doesn't cut.
Is claiming
You can't
something
make
for which
personal
there's no
observations
evidence
because you're blind as a
apart
bat,
from
Tony,
their-
so you get to shut up.
Quiet, moron boy.
Whereas the existence of people without glasses is something for which there is evidence. So let's go back. Let's step back multiple times. There is no fission going on in the sun, and if you can find me a single website from a reputable
I
scientific
look at the sun
organization-
every day. It's smooth texture, same color every day. There's no flames licking off it. There's no solar storms. It's
Should
all
not be
fission.
looking at the sun. Your eyes will be burnt.
You should not look at You should not look directly at the sun.
We're not
you
worried
look
about
at
you
the sun
clowns.
at the distance that it is. At the distance
We don't need no
the
help,
human
guys.
eye, the human eye is not the infallible scientific instrument that you are pretending that it is. We have better instruments.
It is. Observation
Well,
100%
Well,
science.
it's given to us by God. So
Yeah.
don't forget
we're not
that.
God.
sure about that.
Lol.
Let's
Making
argue
shit up
that a
on the
little
fly
bit.
and
I know you guys are Christ deniers, but let's
You
slow
know how
down.
to
You can't
magnify?
just throw the eye away as if it's not an
It's not a
invaluable-
measurement tool.
You guys say it's infallible. I say it's invaluable.
No, we say
no,
it's
one of
not
the most
infallible.
important
So it doesn't
fucking
matter.
senses.
Your
Is it
eye
all
is
about
not
the-
a measurement
It's one of the
tool.
most important
your
things
claim
that we
against
have
the
to our
Right,
advantage.
Sin Cleanser, stop 1 sec. Your eye is not a measurement tool. Simple as that. You cannot measure
Are you
things
crazy?
with your eye.
You can't measure
What do
something
you
without your eyes.
Yeah, what do
Yeah, you can.
It's the prerequisite for any
I can measure
measurement,
lots
your
of things
eye.
without my eyes. I don't need my eyes
Okay.
to measure things.
Okay, give me an example.
I could,
Neutrino detectors.
No, Tony. I want to hear. He made a claim. He's trying to dismiss me and write me off. That's fine.
Right, I could close my
what,
eyes.
What measurements have you done without your eyes?
Funny, Sin, when we talk about
Stop.
I'd
Can
like
he
to
speak for
answer.
himself? Does everybody need to jump in?
when we
Let me answer.
talk about
Let me answer,
iPhones-
please. Let me answer, guys. Please.
Hold on, everybody.
Let me answer, please? Right. So back in school, in high school, we did experiments where we would measure the distance to the school from out in the field by closing our eyes and clicking our fingers and listening for how long it took for the sound of the click to bounce off of our school back to where we were on the field. And then we would calculate the distance to that to the school from where we were based on how long it took the sound. Didn't use my eyes at all for that.
Okay, so if I could talk to Fight the Flat Earth, please, everybody. I know everybody wants to jump in, but can I just say one more thing, please? Fight the Flat Earth. What you just demonstrated is that you will forsake your eyes for your ears.
No, I still need a
You
tool
will
to
say,
be able to
I don't
measure
have
the
to
time,
trust
right?
my eyes. I can.
Didn't
trust
say I don't
my
have to
ears.
trust my eyes. I said that
And
your eyes
I
are not a
ask you,
measurement
I
tool.
say, what a part of your logic says that your ears are more trustworthy than your eyes?
Again, you're strawmanning me. I'm
This
just
is how
saying
the
that
government
you can do
controls-
things.
No, you
with...
said I close my eyes. I snap my
I'm in the
fingers,
middle
I
of
can measure.
talking. I am in the middle of talking. I said
Okay,
you
okay,
can't
go
use
ahead.
your eyes to
Jesus.
measure, but you can measure things without your eyes, like listening for the sound.
You
and
have
then
to be able to see
using-
what you're looking at.
I'm still talking. Thank you very much. So
Ridiculous.
you don't need to look at where the sound's going. You can just know that there's sound and how long it's taken to come back. You use a tool to measure the time. And then
Okay.
make
Okay,
a
sure.
calculation. Your eyes are not a measurement tool, and you do not
Okay.
need your eyes to make measurements.
Okay, but here's the logic.
Here's where it really. Here,
I maybe logic means something else to you.
No. This is where you get wrecked here on this.
No,
one.
the logic is
Because
the same.
can I talk to this dude for one opportunity in my life for a change, please?
You judge, you can't measure.
Listen, fight the flat earth. Listen, you said I do not need my eyes, right?
No.
You said I can use my ears. Did you not just say that?
Yeah, and other tools.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I know. Everybody's over talking. There's a bunch of people in here. So let me say this. Why do you think that your ears are not infallible, but your eyes are?
I didn't say they are.
No, because you seem to put more... You put more faith in your ears.
I don't have any faith. I was just responding to the fact that you don't need your eyes.
Yeah. Okay, so are your ears just as trustworthy as your eyes?
Neither of them are measuring tools.
Understand?
I was just responding to the fact that you do not need your eyes to make measurements.
Yes, you do. Otherwise, you crash your car into the side of the hill when you die.
I'm not in
Hey,
a
I got
car
a
right
paint
now.
match the other day.
All right, there's just too
I got
many
a paint
people in
match
here.
the other day.
There's no like.
My eyes or ears or anything.
There is
All
a
I did
lot
was,
of talking
like,
over.
I put the chip of paint, and the chip of paint was red, and then the color match was done by the computer, and then it was all put in a paint can for me.
That's
and I didn't
okay,
use my eyes
man.
for
That's
that.
fine.
But if I had matched it by eye, it would have failed, right?
Yeah, but you're not.
Yeah,
you're
but
missing.
you're relying
I have a
on
logical
computer.
argument against what he's saying, and
No,
it's
you
not
don't.
being addressed because he's saying that I can forsake my eyes for my ears.
No,
And
I didn't say that.
Well, how can you forsake your eyes for your ears? What makes your ears more trustworthy than your eyes?
I didn't
Because
say that.
PhD Tony.
Again, I didn't say that. I didn't say
Tony
that.
just said
Again, I
your
didn't say
eyes
that. Again, I didn't say
not
that.
in
I didn't say
Okay.
that. I didn't say that.
I
Please
know,
stop
but we were
strawmanning
having
me.
a discussion. Okay, we were
Yeah,
having a
but
discussion.
what you're doing is
Tony,
strawmanning
you
me.
and myself, right?
May I?
This is impossible.
Sin Cleanser, you're mischaracterizing what the course of the discussion. The course of the discussion was you shouldn't use instruments. You should rely on your eyes. And then the argument became, well, name an observation you can make without your eyes. Craig named one, and now you're saying, well, now he's saying he can forsake his eyes. No, that isn't what he said. What he said was he can make an observation without his eyes.
Right.
That says nothing about forsaking, and your counter argument is that ears are infallible too. Yes, that's correct. That's why we create.
This is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying.
You're saying. So the argument is ears are fallible. They have errors. Yes, eyes are fallible. They have errors. Yes. This is why we create instruments where the error margins are smaller.
But we use our senses.
Or our ears.
I know, but we use our senses to read these instruments, right?
An equivocation.
Yes, but
if we use our senses to read these hyper accurate,
it's
ridiculous. There is just way.
Sin cleanser. Let me try something.
It's impossible to have a productive conversation.
Let me try something with you, Sin cleanser. Let me try.
I don't think me and Tony were on the verge of really making headway on this point because. Okay, go ahead, Brenda. Go ahead.
Right. If I have a ruler and I measure a length of wood, am I using my eyes to measure the wood?
I don't know what you're doing. You have to tell me what you're doing.
If I told you, you didn't.
How are you reading the numbers?
Are you reading? Are you looking at the measurement?
As the question is,
I can't read your mind. You're gonna have to give me some help here, Brenda.
I already told you.
Are you looking at it, or is it Braille, or what?
Would you like me to repeat it?
Please.
Yeah, be more clear.
Just be very specific. We need details here.
I'm using a ruler to measure a length of wood. Am I using my eyes to measure the wood?
You're using your senses.
Am I using my eyes to measure the wood?
How are you reading the numbers? With your eyes or your feet?
You're using one of your senses, at least. Yeah.
No, I'm using a ruler to measure the wood.
You're using your
looking
senses.
at numbers, you dipshit.
This is
You're
what I'm talking
reading
about.
the numbers. You're
This is what it's like to talk to a Glober. I swear.
Okay, right. Let me get the mic back, guys. Let me get the mic back, please. Let me get the mic back. Right. Yes, we use our eyes or other senses
go ahead,
to.
Tell us how to measure the wood.
I'm embarrassed.
I was in the middle of talking.
This is so
no,
funny,
no,
man.
I'm in the
Oh
middle
my
of talking.
God.
No, no. Okay, I'll try again. Yes, we will use our eyes or other senses to look at the measurement tool. But we need that measurement tool to make the measurements. Our eyes do not make the measurements. The tool does.
Do you trust your senses when you read that measurement?
Who made the first measurement?
Hold on, Steve. Do you trust your senses when you read that measurement?
I will
I
usually
assume
double.
what
Wait,
we
let me respond.
is
Let me respond to that, please.
Very simple argument we're making.
No, the answer to the question is no. I do not immediately trust my senses. I will double check and double check and double check that the measurement is correct. That what I have perceived as the measurement is correct. So no, I do not instantly trust my senses. I will check that they are right.
I would like to rephrase that answer as a scientist. Okay. What we do is we make sure that the margin of error in reading the instrument is so small that any significant misinterpretation of the instrument reading is negligible. But you still have to check. You still have to.
Okay, Tony. I like the pace at which you're talking about.
That does not argue in favor of abandoning instruments and relying only on your eyes.
Okay, I understand. Okay, can we progress this?
Yeah,
I
sure.
understand. We all understand each other. I think.
No. That's a cop out. Globies should not work in science. I mean, blind people should not work in science at all because they don't know what they're looking at. They can't use observation.
This
is how society's
well,
been
blind
collapsed.
people can't make observations. That's a fact.
Terrible.
No, blind people cannot make observations.
Blind people
can definitely make observations.
You're just an idiot.
Blind people cannot observe.
Yes, they can.
Because they don't know what they're looking at.
They can't see it.
They have other ways of seeing.
Something with your ears. Are you guys kidding me?
Do you think you can only observe things with your eyes?
Society's fucked.
Are you observing things with your feet? Are you kidding me?
This conversation is going around.
Wild.
Because you're dumb fuck, your blind is all fucked, you can't see shit, and you're trying to put observations on us, you can't see. That's stupid. You're an idiot.
You're just fucking lying when you say that I'm blind. Okay?
You're blind as fuck, yeah.
I'm not blind in any sense. I have a driver's license. I have legal recognition. I have legal recognition that I am not blind. I because they improve my vision, not that I don't have vision.
Can you see 200 miles with the naked eye?
Can you? Is that the standard? Actually, yes. Yes, I can. I can easily see 200 miles with the naked eye.
Prove it. He wants you to prove how far you can see, Tony.
The sun's 93 million miles away.
No, it's not. It's 300 miles away. The sun's 300 miles above the
No, it's not. We've measured it. It's 93 million miles.
Even if it's only 300 miles away, I can still see more than 200 miles.
Yeah. But the
that's
sun is
good
definitely
news. Now you
93
believe
million
the Earth
miles.
is flat. I'm happy. It's over.
No, the sun's definitely 93 million miles away, by the way. We've measured it.
Fight the Flat Earth said you can observe things without your eyes. How does
you
that
can.
work?
Do you guys need to use your eyes for a
How are you guys gonna skate over
Do you
that?
think
That
your
was
eyes are the
hilarious.
only way of making an observation?
You can't observe something without eyes.
Steve Cleanser, we are having a conversation based on sound waves. We are having a conversation based on noise and sound waves that you are observing. That you are observing with your ears, not your eyes.
I literally
So you are making observations with something other than your eyes.
Relax, dude. Relax.
Can we all stop screaming and like?
You're not observing things with your ears, okay, bro? You're hearing. When I was joking, I said I hear you. Because I'm hearing you. I'm not observing you say things.
Do you think that observing is limited to only your eyes?
This is why reading comprehension needs to be taught more than the globe. Because you guys are not reading comprehension is a huge...
Everyone chill out. Chill out. Take a breath. No more yelling. Like, let's just chill. It's getting like really crazy.
Yeah, I've got like 5 minutes before I'm gonna go. So I just wanted to clear this thing up because this is fucking hilarious. Yes, you can observe things without your eyes. You hear things. That is you observing with your ears.
It's not observing.
Yes, it absolutely is.
Of observe. fight the flat Earth.
When you go to
I'm
an
gonna post it
observatory,
for you before
To
you go.
The
send-
reputation for observation, Sinclair. So that's why you're so confused.
You
when you
can,
go to an
Right.
you can
observatory, you
observe.
go to
Hold
Okay,
on, it's
right,
not
so-
about look.
observatory.
Emotions.
My God.
You can even
Right.
observe emotions. You can observe many things without your eyes. It's
Yes.
not only about eyes.
You can observe that
No,
it's
you're
cold.
sensing emotions. You can
Sorry,
see.
I'm gonna have to.
Oh, my
I'm gonna have to go on
God.
there instead for that
When
one.
you go to an
Observation.
observatory,
Shines
are you going
is
to listen
is
to
right.
the stars? When you go to an observatory,
If we're
are
talking
you
about something
going
that
to
you have
listen
to
the
see,
stars?
if you have to look at something
Right.
with your eyes and you can't see, then yes, you can say that you're not observing what you can see. But you can
you go
observe
to an
things with your
observatory-
hearing, with your even emotions, a sense of a
When you
room.
go
You
to
can
an
observe
observatory,
all kinds of things.
Okay.
If it's
So
only
I'm
strictly observatory and
go
you
to
need
an
your eyesight,
observatory,
Look at
then yeah.
look at a.
my God.
Science is correct.
You're
Look up
worse
the
than the
definition
fucking
of.
Globers.
Sin conjure.
Look up the definition of observe. To observe is to notice or perceive. There's
Sin
nothing in there
In other
about
words,
sight.
with your vision,
I
with your
posted it in the
sight.
chat. To
More
observe is to
radio-
mark or be
Sin conjure.
attentive to something seen.
No,
Radio
doesn't have
radio
to be seen. That's
telescopes
one
make
Sin conjure.
that definition is not the only
Seen. How can you
Okay,
see
you want me
something
to
with your
finish
ears?
one?
Okay, right. Can I have the mic?
Another one.
Right, guys, everyone, stop for 1 sec. Right. So,
No.
this
Here's
is
another. Wait, hold on, really quick. Here's another definition in the chat for that ass, because it isn't just about seeing things.
yeah.
Hey,
yeah
wait,
Shines is right.
observe
Shines is
in
right.
many
Okay,
different
but so
Doesn't our eyes sometimes deceive us? So we
Right.
should like really
So-
take that into consideration with the theodolite, right?
it is simple,
Oh,
right?
fuck, yeah.
You can observe in many ways. You can observe with hearing.
Do you
You can
use your
observe through
eyes for the
touch. You
theodolite?
can observe with taste and smell. You can observe your sense of position and movement, which is perception. You can observe vibrations and pressure. You know, there's many different ways to observe things. Yes, you can observe with your eyes, but to perceive anything is observing it. It's just you
Yeah,
can't
that-
change the meaning of words.
But
okay?
hold on, no.
Astronomers-
Listen. Brenda, before you go, Brenda. Let me just make this real quick. You got to remember the argument here. The argument was that globers are telling us we can't trust our senses.
No, you shouldn't
No,
trust
We
your senses.
cannot trust our senses.
No, Globus.
And they said, I don't
Globus-
need my eyes. My eyes are
No,
my eyes are
no,
fallible.
you're-
Let me
you're
use my
mischar-
ears.
You're
that's
mischaracterizing.
You guys remember?
the again. Globers
Yeah.
are saying there are limits on the accuracy of your senses. And if you want to make really precise observations, you are better off using instruments that are specifically designed to minimize errors, which your senses are not.
What about a theodolite?
But what
A
weren't
theodolite, you have
those
to look
instruments? Weren't those instruments built by the same senses?
Astronomers.
Did they use their senses to make that instrument?
Yeah,
Great
exactly,
question.
Exactly.
Yes, but
The very
we
thing you
do-
can't
There you
trust
go.
help them. Yeah, there
But
you go.
we can extrapolate. We can make something better than our senses, and then we can use that
Explain
instrument
how that
to make
works.
something better
You guys
than
can
that
never
instrument.
explain how that works. Never.
Okay, a vernier caliper, for instance. So a vernier caliper, if you're familiar
They
with
came
it,
up
it
a lot of
uses
this word salad.
Maybe listen
so
and stop
you don't
talking.
know- You don't know what a vernier caliper is? Is that what I'm hearing?
Can you give us a more relatable example, Tony?
It's pretty
Uh,
relatable.
I'm not picking on your example. I just
a
just for the
micrometer?
sake of the audience, maybe.
A
I don't know.
microscope. A microscope.
Okay, cool. Let's go with that.
Okay. All right. A microscope allows us to see much magnified images of what's going on. So if we want to measure the size of something using the microscope and an appropriate measuring instrument, we can determine the size much better than we could without the microscope. If we're trying,
But it's still, Tony.
if we're trying to judge the distance to a plane, we use radar, right? We send the radio
come on, bro.
wave out.
Don't be unfair.
Let him finish. Let him
and
finish.
it bounces back. This is better than using our eyes
Be fair,
to try
Tony.
and work out how far away the airplane is, right?
Tony, when you use a microscope, it requires you trust your eyes.
Astronomers use X-ray telescopes and radio telescopes to make observations of the sky.
And you
So
have
did
to
blind
trust your
people
senses.
Sin cleanser, hold on one second.
Right.
Sin cleanser.
Did a
Right.
bunch of blind people build those as strong?
One
You guys are
one
making
second.
a strong argument
Right.
for
Right.
blind,
I know,
dumb,
it's
and deaf
ridiculous.
people.
Sin
Wow.
cleanser, 1 second. Guys,
Real
please, 1
science
second.
here.
Right. You got to use your eyes to look in the microscope, but you can't do what you do with the
Yeah.
microscope without the microscope. You need the
You
microscope.
can't do it without your eyes, and you're the one saying the eyes are all fucked up and weird.
No,
you
we're
can't
not.
have the dog with, you can't put the horse before
We're
the
not
cart.
saying that at all. You're mischaracterizing what we're saying once again.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Yes.
Can
we
you
don't.
steel man my side just for the sake of argument? Do you guys even relate to what we're trying to tell you?
Yes.
Right.
What you're
Can
trying
you
to
just
say.
steel man it real quick, Tony? Just so we're on the same page.
I will steel man it. So
Thank
what
you.
you're
Just for
saying
the sake
is,
of everybody here.
what you're saying is ultimately any instrument reading has to be interpreted by human senses.
Yes, sir.
to make it
You
into
nailed
human
it. That's absolutely. You did
Okay.
it. Yes, sir.
So my counter to that is that what the instruments do is they make the information so obvious that the uncertainty due to human senses is insignificant in its interpretation, right? So when you've got a sensor that gives a digital
That's
reading,
a little bit of a leap, Tony.
No,
Come on.
It's a giant leap.
That's
Settle
a
down,
little bit of a
Tony.
leap, bro.
Not a leap in the
Here's
slightest.
right.
If
It's
we both
exactly
agree,
right.
Tony, if we both agree that you need to trust, you need to have complete
have to trust your
faith in your
senses. No, you
senses
don't have-
to even
you don't
interpret what the microscope says.
When
No,
you
you
use them
don't
for
need
You have
an
to have
instrument,
you have to
it's gotta
have the
have really good
unshaken
eyes.
faith in your senses to
No,
even
you
believe the
don't.
telescope.
No,
But
you don't.
it doesn't change
Are
the
you
fact
kid-
that
are
you
you kidding
can't
me?
do. Right, hold on. It doesn't change the fact that you can't do those things
God.
without the tools. You need the
Can I just
tools
say-
because your eyes don't make
Can
the
I-
measurements.
Can I
The
just say that
senses are the
ultimately-
prerequisite to the measurement.
Doesn't matter. You still
Ultimately,
need
you're-
the
That's a
tools
fact.
to make the measurement. You
You
can't
need
do it
your
without the
senses
tools.
to make the measurement.
Yeah, but you can't do it without the
you
tools.
do.
Why are you guys? This is the next level.
so-
Right,
This is
can
a
you
new
do?
level
Can you
of
do it without?
clover.
Right, Sin cleanser. Hold on. Stop. Everyone, stop. Sin cleanser. Can you do that measurement
crap
without
I
the
ever
tools?
heard.
Yes or no?
You can't do them without trusting your senses.
I asked you a
Sentience.
question. It's a yes or no
That's
question.
our argument.
I asked you a
Okay,
question. It's a
but
yes or no question. Can you do it
Lord.
without the tools? Yes or no?
Can you use non-sentient observations of any kind, whether it's a tool, whether it's ultimately created by sentience, and you're
Yes.
trying to label it as it's a non-sentient, it's all random?
No, not in the
Thank you.
slightest.
Isn't it refreshing? It's like
Not
a-
in the
a
slightest.
fallacy of
That
equivalence.
is
It's like
not
some-
what we're saying
it's
in the
refreshing.
slightest. Not in the slightest.
None of that.
You use
You guys are
sentience to
taking
try
such
to
a
define
bizarre
nonsense.
argument. Hold on. Check this out. You guys are taking such a bizarre point, an argument.
You're
on
the
this.
ones
I
that are
don't know if
making
you
this
guys are doing
bizarre.
it.
We're just saying
No,
that you can't make the measurements without the measurement tools.
And we're saying you can't make the measurements with the measurement tool without your senses.
No one's disagreeing.
It's
You need
not
to.
that great. Oh my.
Nobody is disagreeing. Right,
Oh
I'm
my
talking.
Lord.
I'm talking. Nobody is disagreeing that you need to look at the measurement tools.
So why are you bickering with us?
Because you're
No one's.
equivocating.
Because you're saying that you're saying you can do it without. You saying you don't need the tools.
Interpreting
But
data.
you don't
Wow.
trust your
You caught
senses
us
because
on
you
that
need a
one.
tool. Right.
You caught us
Please let me
red-handed.
finish.
We trust
Please
our
let me
senses
finish.
to read the
Please
data.
let me finish. Please let me finish. You cannot do the measurements without the tools. Therefore,
You ever use the
cannot.
caliber?
I'm still talking. Thank you. Therefore,
We agree.
I'm
We
still
agree.
talking.
Have
I'm
you
still
ever
talking.
used the
I'm
caliper?
still talking. I am still
We
talking.
agree.
No, I'm
We
still
agree
talking.
on what you're gonna
I'm
say.
still
God
talking.
almighty.
Are you a child?
God almighty.
Are you a fucking child? How about shut up while someone else is talking?
Harp
you're
is
a
a
piece of
legend.
shit.
Let's get it right.
No.
Harp is a
No,
goddamn
he's a child.
legend.
That's what he is, right?
No,
So,
listen. Make your
You're,
point.
I'm
Make your
no. I'm
point.
still. I am still talking. I'm still talking.
Make
Everyone
your
else,
point,
shut up.
make your point.
Everybody else, shut up.
Everybody
Everybody else. No. I'm still trying to talk. I'm still trying to talk. Thank you. Right. So, you need the tools to make your measurements. You cannot trust your eyes to make a measurement. That's not what they're for. They're for observing of things
you're
in
a
a certain
fucking
way.
idiot.
You need the
I
tools
would
to
like
make the
to-
measurement, not
I don't
your
even know
eyes.
if Tony believes you on that one. Fight Club.
I mean, I was still in the
don't
middle.
even know
No,
if your
no, okay.
comrades
Apparently, I'm
believe
not
you.
allowed to get out a full fucking sentence because you guys are too scared to let me do it.
Yeah, it is
I'm
pretty.
scared. I don't even think your comrades would agree with you.
Can you just let him
On
finish?
the branches of
Let him
blind men.
finish. Let him finish, and then you guys can come back at him.
No, it's no.
Finish your sentence, and then everyone else can come back.
They don't want it. They don't want to hear it, so it's fine. They don't want to hear this.
You win this time, Fight the Flat Earth. Let's just chalk it up to you win this time, bud.
Have you ever used the caliper Fight the Flat Earth? Have you ever
Yes, many times. I'm an engineer.
You win
yes, I am an engineer.
You got us. Calm down. Calm the fuck down. I'm talking to Fight the Flat Earth. You have used the caliper, yes?
I am an engineer. What do you think?
Answer the question.
Do engineers tend to use calipers? Yes. Yes, quite often.
Okay. Is it easy to read a caliper?
Not all the time.
Yeah, you got to have really good eyesight, don't you?
Well, sometimes you need to get up close to look at it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But could you have made that measurement? Could you have made that measurement with
looking at tiny little fucking lines?
Could you have made that measurement without the caliper?
My God, dude.
Could you have made the measurement without the caliper? Yes or no?
You need really good eyesight. You know what you're looking at. You know you need really good eyesight.
Can you make that measurement without the caliper? Yes or no?
Absolutely not. We agree on
well,
that.
so we need the tools, so therefore we can't trust our eyes to make the measurement.
Now, right? And you know that you need excellent eyesight to use that tool.
I actually
look closer.
Characterization.
Yeah, you don't need excellent eyesight to use it.
I would make the point that somebody with poor eyesight but strong corrective lenses can still use a caliper.
Or someone looking up close at the caliper.
No, Tony, don't be so tricky. Hold on. Yeah, hold on, Harp, I got you. I got you, Harp. I got you, Harp. Listen, Harp, I got you. Tony, you just said strong corrective lenses that affect your senses.
Yes, but if the strong corrective lenses produce the same results as somebody with good eyesight, then they're clearly not distorting my sensory input.
It would imply that you trust your senses, Tony.
Okay, but the degree of and we agree on this. So you agree that we need instruments. We agree that you need your senses.
Okay, hold on, Tony. Let me just clarify.
Tony's in the middle of talking. Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Okay. The issue in contention is the degree of trust you should have in each. How much should you trust the instrument and how much should you trust your senses? Your claim is that in order to use an instrument, you have to have absolute faith in the accuracy of your senses. I claim that is false, and I reject your statement as a bad syllogism. I don't have to believe that my eyesight is perfect in order to read the output from an infrared thermometer, for instance.
Okay, so Tony.
I don't need perfect vision for that.
Okay, so Tony, you don't need to trust your... Okay, I get it, Tony. You don't need to trust your senses, but you know what you're gonna do if you don't trust your senses? You're gonna put your faith in the instrument, right?
No.
You don't trust your senses, you trust the instrument.
No, I assign an uncertainty value to my senses, and I make sure
you don't do that.
That's what a sensible person does.
That's what a sensible person does, and it's certainly what a scientist will do, is assign an uncertainty value to their perception and only accept signals that are larger than the uncertainty value. That's what a sensible person will do.
But
okay,
hold on. That is where I'm gonna end the conversation for today because it's 10 to 3 in the morning, and I actually have a very busy day tomorrow doing a lot of stuff. So,
all right. So, Fight the Flat Earth. Can I say one word before you leave, just for the sake of the audience and the whole show and everything like that?
If I can ask you a question that you give me a direct answer to afterwards.
Well, I don't know if it's a question, but you can answer. I think it was really fun that you came and showed up. A lot of Globers do not have the confidence to actually face us like men.
I'm always gonna be here.
You know, I give you credit in the sense that you tried and you really put in an honest Christian effort. And I thank you for even making the attempt.
I did not put in a Christian effort.
I'm giving you a pat on the back, bro.
I know, but don't mischaracterize it.
I'm trying to pat you on the back here.
Okay, so my question to you is, are you a Poe? Yeah, we're done with your platitudes. Let's move on. All right.
Earth is flat. We all know this.
Are you a Poe? Yes or no?
Try again next
Be
time.
honest.
Try again next time.
Are you a Poe? Yes or no? Be honest.
To be quite honest with you, and I haven't really told a lot of people this, but the Earth is flat.
Okay.
Are you a
can I say
Poe?
something?
Yes or no?
I'm about
The Earth
to.
is obviously, measurably,
Did he not just say that the Earth is
demonstratively,
flat?
every
Did he not just say the Earth
every
is
century.
flat?
Yeah, but that's not answering my question. That's
It's
saying
all
something
flat,
else
bro.
to
Yeah,
my question.
Absolutely, 100%.
Right. So as you didn't
may
answer
I
the
say
question, you're a
something?
Poe. Yes. Go ahead, Tony.
So fight the flat Earth. Whenever you find better evidence, the doors are wide open. You know, you got to.
Oh, I've got plenty of evidence. You just ignore it because you don't like evidence.
Listen.
Because you're a
We're
Poe.
not running away. You gotta go.
No, you run away from evidence. You
We're
run away
not
from
going
evidence.
anywhere. But
anyway,
you gotta
anyway,
go,
Tony
right?
wanted to say something. So you can stop talking now, Poe.
Okay, so I just want to say.
You see how they try to redirect, and they always act like you're the jerk at the end of it. They
Tony's trying to say something, and everyone keeps over talking.
They're trying to politely wrap it up. Let them wrap it up. Let them wrap it up. Let's go. Tony, what do you got to say, bud?
I wanted to say that I did appreciate the lack of name calling and abuse from people in the channel.
We really made an effort, so thank you.
Apart from demo, of course.
And I wanted to say one thing, which is I kind of thought that we were making progress when we were discussing the distinction between gravity observations and what they can tell us, and how that can't be explained by buoyancy and density. But I was disappointed that conversation lasted about 2 minutes, and then it got sort of sidetracked on.
There's a lot of people in here, Tony.
Eyes and senses. I'm just.
There really is a lot of people here.
Tony,
I'm not trying to.
You can't make observations.
I'm not trying to assign blame, and I'm just a little disappointed. But
I think we all wanted a lot more. Yeah.
Maybe.
We did. We wanted you to not pose so hard, Sin Cleanser. That was the thing.
Okay, relax. Relax.
I feel that I feel that there's a tendency on both sides to attack people, and
I personally don't enjoy that aspect of it.
And I think that
you do because you gaslight and sea lion. That's exactly what you do.
Arguments. That's it.
I don't. I prefer not to insult people if I can. I don't know if you guys respect that equally as.
Well, no, but like I said, what
I
you
think
do
there's
is
a lot of potential.
Sin Cleanser, hold on. What you do is you gaslight and sea lion, which is just as bad. So.
No, I think you guys would benefit from having a conversation with.
But you don't want a conversation because you just gaslight and sea lion. So.
Insult, bro. Why
all
so
you're
many
doing is trying to
insults?
write me off, and guess what?
That's not an insult. I am characterizing what happened during this conversation.
Calling someone a Poe is an insult, bro.
It's not. It's factual.
Then
Sorry,
telling you he gaslighted you and going.
It's okay.
Can Tony finish what Let Tony finish what he's saying. Let Tony finish what
he's saying, and then we can all bicker and whatever.
I just wanted to quickly say that I do respect I especially respect the effort that Shines made to keep the conversation on track and to keep the conversation.
We're trying to make an effort here. We're really actually trying to go out of our way to make an effort.
Dude, Harp, no, it's not even about the observation shit. Before you even came back, I've consistently, I know you are. Like, I am trying. Like, I just want people to have a conversation. My God.
I want a conversation as well, but when it's very obvious that Sin Cleanser hasn't come to the conversation, to have an honest conversation, because all he does is gaslight and sea lion throughout the entire conversation.
Not true at all.
It's very true.
Dude.
It's absolutely true.
Right? So FTFE, right?
Dude.
So go through your video and you.
Yeah, I will because I like reading the chat back.
Listen. Dude. Listen, go through the video, right, and show us where he gaslighted you. Make
the whole time.
And then make another video, right? Then you can make more money off.
Can I give you the whole room my honest interpretation of what I think happened?
That you'd like to gaslight and sea lion.
I think that when Fight the Flat Earth said he had a globe in his room and he held it in his hand, I asked him to measure it. And he couldn't do it.
I can do it. No. Hold on. See what you're doing here is you're
that is when it got
so you're gaslighting right now by saying that I can't make. Right, hold on. Stop. Stop. Everyone stop. Everybody stop. Everybody stop.
Oh my God.
Everybody stop. So what you're doing right now is gaslighting me by saying I can't do it. Well, I can.
No, hold the ball.
You can't do it because you didn't.
No, I can do it.
And you
just
did
because
it because you wouldn't.
No,
it's not that you couldn't.
Again, you're gaslighting me, telling me that I can't do something that I can. Again, you're
it's
gaslighting
that you
me.
wouldn't and
no,
you can't.
No, hello, I'm talking.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
I'm still talking.
The problem
I'm still talking. I'm still talking.
All right, let him answer. Go ahead.
I'm still talking.
Craig.
I'm still talking.
Go ahead.
I can do it. I've done it many times. Just this very second, I didn't have the tape measure with me. So telling me that I can't do it is gaslighting me.
Can I make an observation here?
Not right now.
Craig, we're not here to embarrass you. We're just
let me finish. Let me finish, please. Please, can I finish first, please? Right. So
you don't have to yell at Tony.
I'm not yelling at Tony. I would just like to finish my point before I move on. Right. So by telling me that I can't do it when I absolutely can. You are gaslighting me. You're telling me that I can't do something that I absolutely can do.
Well, you
can't.
No, you're not.
I haven't finished talking. I haven't finished talking. No, amazing. See, are you scared to let me talk? You guys are scared to let me talk. You guys are scared to let me talk. I would like to finish. I would like to finish what I'm saying. I would like to finish what I'm saying, but they're scared to let me talk.
God.
Okay,
no, we're not scared. You just couldn't do it.
No, they're scared to let me talk. So,
well, Fight the Flat Earth or Tony, go ahead.
Mate, no, I'd like to speak first because what's going to happen here is that we're going to sort of re-enter the debate and rehash what happened. This is the point of the debate. This is the point of the debate where we thank one another for their contribution, and we acknowledge.
Tony.
I completely agree with you, Tony. I think we need to have an honorable handshake, and we need to call it a night. That was good. Everybody could have done better, if you ask me.
Yeah, you could have not gaslit and sea lions. Yeah.
Everybody can improve. Fight the Flat Earth. Come on, bud.
What you don't do at the end of a discussion is assert cheap jibes about how you won the discussion, who got destroyed, and at what point.
Well, that's part of the fun. You can't take the fun away. Okay, come on. Don't be such a negative Nancy.
Harp is derailing the conversation. He's being uncivil. And I think it
Harp's crazy, dude. He's a flat earther. He's wild, dude.
That's literally what Craig is about to go do, though. Craig is about to go do that.
That's what they do, man. That's what they do.
I would suggest, thank you, Shines, especially. I cannot stress enough just how much.
Let's keep it civil, boys. Let's keep it civil, boys. Just for the sake of our own.
I really appreciate this. I really appreciate that. That Sin Cleanser was civil, even though it was sort of a frustrating conversation at times.
There's a lot of people, Tony. That's my only thing. It gets weird. It's complicated. You know. You know what I mean.
But you two are the highlights. I really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you, everybody. For your
good
time.
hearing you, Tony. Right. Great speaking.
Good night, all.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you guys for showing up. I feel like that was exciting as hell. I mean, that was probably what you would expect.
Tony is literally anti-science. He's refusing to hear about science.
Well, the debate goes on.
But he's an idiot. How could a scientist be anti-science?
He's not. He does the science.
These people have no brains. These
scientists actually does science for a living.
Bro. You can't get enough of this shit. Be honest.
The way you do that is you take your eyeballs. Listen, the way you do that is...
Wow, they're fucking dumb. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Don't be deleting random stuff in the chat, guys, for no reason. Oh, my lord. That was frustrating. He's clearly a Poe. Right. Yeah, Sin Cleanser is clearly a Poe because he doesn't want to have an honest conversation. He doesn't want to see the evidence. He doesn't want to talk about the evidence. He just wants to go, well, that's not evidence. We don't prove it. I mean, the whole thing about, well, you can't measure a globe because you didn't do it then. Well, I couldn't do it because I didn't have the tools. You give me the tools, and I can do it. But what I can't do is measure it with my eyes. Kind of proves my point, eh? Wow. I hope everyone had a good time because I definitely lost brain cells. Desert File! Oh my god, Desert File's in the chat! Oh, hail Desert File! Desert File, as you're here. Oh, I am honored. In honor of Desert File being in the chat. Oh, help if I actually had the sound on.
Gravity, you fucking retard! Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity!
Desert File, props to you, mate. I've actually watched a lot of your videos recently, and you're awesome. I love the way you take no shit with stuff. So, everyone say hello to Desert File. A true legend. Oh, man. As normal, the support that you guys have given me is absolutely freaking mind-blowing. See what that says? 180 new members. 180 new members. What the hell? Tony, you know you're always welcome, mate, honestly. But, oh my god. I'm a bit blown away by Desert File being here. I'm fanboying a bit, actually, over that. It's kind of... Yeah, I don't have patience, Desert File. Oh, thank you for popping by, Desert File. I didn't know you knew I existed. So, thank you for being here. You get a mod just for being so amazing. But yeah, so 180 members and a stupid amount of super chats that I'm probably reading out for the next half an hour. So let me get started with that because you guys are fucking amazing. Tim Tully has been a member for 22 months, says, crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. Nah, I got Mrs. Fight. She's more than enough for me. A Deus Ex Tomato for $2 says, I rely on bees too. Think of me and my sistren. Yes. Tomatoes need bees. Traveller X for $5 Australian says, for keep that knob Cheswick from ever attacking anyone else online again song production fund. Glean 2. Yeah. And again, I was supposed to be talking to Astronomy Live today and I fucked up by thinking it was tomorrow. So I'm so sorry, Astronomy Live. Really fucking sorry. The Spirit for $2 says, I hear drinking urine helps reduce coughing. Lovebot for $4.99. Literal electricity. Do you know why? Craig exists. Said literal electricity. It's real. It's free real estate. Yes. I became a path of least resistance. The Spirit for $5. He avoided using intelligent, smart, and knowledgeable with Flat Earther. At least he's aware. None of those things apply to Flerfs. Jeff C, been a member for 2 months, says, I'm taking a break from Flerfs FTFE. I'll be back. Keep fighting. I understand. It's hard on your head. Don't worry. I'll be here fighting the good fight. Thank you for your support. Heat Shield, member for 3 months, says, tape measure. Yeah, I just didn't have it with me at that point in time. Therefore, I couldn't do it. Brendan Cusketty, who's been a member for 31 months, says, oh, whoa. Singlazer has been drinking cleaner again. Yeah, po. Conor Silverfur gifts 5 memberships. Thank you very much. That's 5 of the 180 I received today. You're amazing. The Spirit for $5 says, okay, all, I'm out. There's no need to repeat a 2019 argument. Welcome to Flat Earth, mate. That's all they have, the 2019 arguments. Oh, Brendan Cusketty with $50 Australian says, I am putting my vote in for Sin Cleanser for top left. He's so full of himself, so up himself, I don't know where he starts and finishes. He, first of all, thank you for that insane amount of support. Secondly, no, he can't be top left because he's a Poe. And then Siggy Sigweld, the Oprah of gifting memberships, gives another 50 memberships. Thank you, dude. Like, most of my memberships have come from you recently, so thank you very much. And then Siggy Sigwell for 666 ARSs. My daughter thinks I listen to the same debate with Flerfs all the time. That's how repetitive they all are. Hail Sagan. Hail Sagan indeed. PhD Tony for $5 says, well done, Craig. No, well done, Tony. And thank you for helping as always. Stringer News 1 for $2. Oh, look. Whitsit Jr. Wisecoff, you mean? Yeah. Disappointed in Wisecoff, man. Very disappointed. Katliana Verin for 50 gifts, 50 memberships. So thank you very much, Katliana. Katliana? I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but thank you very much. So that's 50, that's 100, that's 105 out of the 180. Thank you very much. Siggy Sigwell for 666 ARSs. If you haven't looked into it, Google SINS. Ship's Internal Navigation System. It's a navigation system that Midway Carrier used before GPS existed. Flerfs will melt down. Flerfs melt down when you ask them to do basic maths. Brendan Cusketty for $10 Australian says, whoa, such Flerf cowards. Flerfs. Stringer News 1 for $2. Tonight's sponsor is Preparation H. Again. Bend over. Toads in my eyes for $5 says, Flerf, my standard of evidence is anything that proves a flat earth whilst rejecting anything that demonstrates that is in fact a spheroid. Yeah. Give me evidence. Okay, here's evidence. That's not evidence, that's just words. So, what you want for evidence is a real-time demonstration of me being on a submarine, showing you the gravity anomaly navigation system and how it functions. Yeah, I don't have that kind of clearance anymore. Sorry. Dave Kircher for $5. Maybe I should watch FTFE livestream. Maybe it won't be a dumpster fire. Opens door to see several dumpster fires in a bigger dumpster also on fire. Yeah, but that bigger dumpster was being carried by a truck that was driving into a gigantic dumpster fire on a planet of dumpster fires. Albius for 550 Canadian says, every debate of Flerfs is about the globe. Please, Craig, set up a debate that will only discuss their pancake without once talking about the globe. They can't. They have nothing to talk about the flat earth. All they can do is misunderstand the globe. Zachary Martin for 22 Canadian dollars, thank you very much, says, here comes Tony, the one true proper orc in the room. You Flerfs better pray he don't go boom, because if he does, he'll tear you apart proper. Buckle up, ye Flerf numbskulls, because Tony ain't messing around. Flerf crumping time. Yes, indeed. Warhammer 40k. You'll get there. Colonel Silverfur for $2 says, oh look, barking Flerf sea lions. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how other people can't see this, that the way they act, it's so disingenuous. Siggy Sigwell, another 666 ARSs, says, 2023, and people who never took a single physics class in high school still think they understand the science and they know better than anyone else. How can they be this wrong about everything? I'm guessing brain damage, dude. But thank you very much. Brendan Cusketty for another 10 Australian dollars says, Sin Cleanser says, come here, young one. I wouldn't say another. Yeah, little creepy, really. Janos Takos, who's been a member for 13 months, says, please ask PhD Tony to look at his Discord DMs after the debate. I have a question about measuring gravitational deflection to the vertical. Tony, please check your Discord DMs. Thank you. Patrick Butler, the creator of Water Mountains, for $5 says, ask Steve if you watched the video on how to get oxygen out of water, the one I sent him multiple times in the Asylum Discord. That they don't pay attention. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, it's 3 in the morning. And then Patrick Butler, another $5 says, no one in the asylum knows how to answer questions, sadly, or how to have a proper conversation. It was very unproductive today. Zachary Martin for 550 Canadian says, wah! I'm pretty sure that was Waluigi. Wah! Luigi. And Siggy Sigweld gives another 20 gifts, so that takes us up to 125. Thank you very much, Siggy. Like, you're just in... You have a membership, you have a membership, and you have a membership! Lolwatt for $10 says, I'm under no obligation to provide evidence. Continues to demand evidence. Flerf's gonna flurf. Hell yeah. And then when you do give them evidence, they just cry and go, that's not evidence. Siggy Sigweld with number 225 ARSs. I gave another 20 because we need more people joining us in this. Thank you very much, dude. I really do appreciate it. And then, excuse me. Then we've got Katliana Verin, who gifts another 50 memberships. So that's 100 from Katliana today. And that takes us all the way up to 175 memberships. So thank you very, very much, Katliana and Siggy. You insane support. Patrick Butler for $2 says, does Demok know what direction up is yet? No. He has no idea what a horizon is. Up will really confuse him. String News 1 for $2. Flat Earthers are the right tool for no job. Yeah. People always say to me, Flat Earthers should be at McDonald's, but I don't want them making my food. Patrick Butler, $5. There are a lot of people who do not like this Discord channel. No joke. I still have not been banned, thank God. It's a lot of fun. I think we can have a lot of fun in there. Siggy Sigwell for another 225 ARSs. This dumb is so powerful, it goes faster than the speed of light. Nobody thought it was possible, but they managed it. And then the other 5 memberships, taking us up to 180, comes from Randomly Epic. Thank you very much. 180 new members today. You guys fucking rock. Pretty much everyone in the chat is a member at this point. Hey, Rachel's a member. Get in. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of Flerfs that are members, so... Andrew Stoll for $2 says, FTFE, look up Takamak Mine Plum Experiment. I had that discussion many times with Flerfs, don't worry. And then Anthony Starman for $5 says, so once again, no Flat Earth map, who would have guessed? Not me. Where's your map? Boom! Works every time. Tim Pryor for $10. For crying out loud, take a ruler and draw a straight line on a piece of paper. Now roll that paper up. The line is still straight. How do they not get this? Yeah, look. Here is a straight line on my globe. See it straight? MB for $2 for Krakatoni mentioning Krakatoa. Mr. Toffees, who's been a member for 17 months, says everyone should go over to see Tony's. Yeah, check out Tony's channel. It's awesome. LBS for 550 Canadian says, are ocean waves radio waves too, just like P waves? Dimmock is just disgusting, by the way. Yeah, Dimmock is fucking pointless, but that person thinking that P waves were radio waves was fucking hilarious. 3 Ron, who's been a member for 2 months, says, don't argue with math flatards, it proves Earth is spherical. 100%. Albius for 220 Canadian says, Dimmock must be lonely, he's quite sad, actually. Deranged, I think, is the correct word. I may get through these super chats tonight, who knows? Tim Pryor for $5 says, for the love of God, shut him up, what a rude piece of shit. That could apply to many of the Flerfs. Brendan Cascari for $10 Australian says, Demok is so wrong, just in general, yes. And then Todd Ferguson, firmament technician who's been a member for 1 month, says, I used to agree that Demok was just ignorant, then I started to think he was a comic genius, now I'm a Demok skeptic. Everyone should be a fucking Demok skeptic. 3-1 for $2. Tell her to stop woman-splaining who you talk to. Yeah, Shines, I never talked to Sing Cleanser before. Ever. Lord Luminous Pooh for $5 says, I'm not your buddy, friend. I'm not your friend, guy. I'm not your guy, buddy. Albius for 220 Canadian says, no wonder aliens don't visit. Yeah, they messaged me and said, we're not coming till you get rid of the Flerfs. So, sorry. Mr. Toffees for £2 says, I have someone who could talk to anti-vaxxers. I can't even go there with them. I mean, they told me that I'd be dead by now. I'm definitely not dead. I've had a close call recently, but that's not important. Patrick Butler for $5 says, Apocryphon is a boss though. He is the one to watch out for, FTFE, lol. I'll take him on. In debate. Patrick Butler for $2 says, the asylum hates measurements and letting people talk. Conor Silverfair for $2. Flerfs being ableist pricks. Sadly not shocking. No, it's really not. Fog Repair Ship Akashi for $5. John Metcalf. He was best known for building 290 kilometres of turnpike road in the north of England, known as one as the fathers of the modern road. Thank you for that, I guess. Cheers. Mr. Unite for the chill win for $2 says, and now a reenactment of the Battle of Trafalgar. No, it's just a dumpster fire, but I see your point. Fogger Persia Bakashi for $5 says, John Metcalf, known as Blind, Jack of Knaresborough, built to... Oh, right. So the dude that built roads was blind in the 1700s. And he's one of the fathers of the modern road. Don't you need your eyes? Although... Why are you all gone blurry? String News 1 for $2 says, you can fix poor eyesight, but you can't fix dumb. I think there's ways of fixing dumb, but I've been told it's illegal, so I can't do it. Mr. Toffees for £2 says, I have sent you a mail of Facebook on anti-vaxxers. Yeah, like I said, I just can't deal with anti-vaxxers. 3Ron, oh my goodness, I have so many super chats. 3Ron says for $2, so stupid they can't answer a yes or no question. No, they can only answer questions with other questions because, you know, Flerfs. LBS for $2.20 says JFK Jr. didn't follow his instruments. He died. Oofed. Too soon. Corey Clark for $5 says, best stream ever, so funny, thanks Craig and chat, I had a hell of fun tonight. Me too. And my brain hurts though, it's sad now. Fogger Persia Bakashi for $2 says, been here only 20 minutes, all Flerf gaslighting. Yeah, the Flerfs don't even know what gaslighting is, and they tried to gaslight me about gaslighting, which is not how that works. Jason T, been a member for 2 months, says, Sin Cleanser is abusing the Flerfs in that room by being a po and gaslighting. I mean, Wisecoff could see that he's a po. Wisecoff I need to deal with. PhD Tony, $10 Australian. Apologies again, I keep saying I will pop in to clear this point up and I failed to drop out. Tony, you're the only real person in the world. You're always welcome. Solexis for £5 says, if he isn't a po, he's dumb. It's now on him to decide which one. Could it be both? Siggy Sigwell for another 666 ARSs. A planet of dumpster fires resting on top of turtles. Because it's turtles all the way down. It is. It's turtles all the way down. Conor Silverfair for $2. Flerfs can't do McDonald's. Too much math for them. Yeah, actually there was. Randomly Epic for $10. Got here a little late. Did I miss the one time a Flerf presented actual evidence? No, it's never going to happen. And then Catliana Varen for 3 months been a member says, no sleep for you. And it is Catliana. You almost got it. Catliana, thank you for your 100 members that you gave me today. Bottom of my heart. Means the world. Oh no, it's Andy for £2 says, just to keep you up a bit longer, who needs sleep? And then Toad to My Eyes for $2 says, that's a lie, we are buddies, friend. You're all my buddies, friends. You know, because I love every single one of you, not you, Gary. What fun. What fun indeed. Right, so the plan is tomorrow, release the PPV with Brother Sanchez. Sunday, it's a Global Mum short. And then Monday will be a release of my video that I've been working really fucking hard on. And I keep going, I need to start again because the editing isn't up to my stupid standards. So look out for that over the next few days. More people sending super chats. Spug Persia Bakashi for $5 says, the fact was the counter to blind people can't be scientist crap. However, YouTube garbled my first post because it's YouTube, for Fenty's sake. Yes. Yeah. Apparently, you need your eyes, otherwise you can't do anything. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for the super chats, and thank you so much for the, I think that's taken me over 600 members now, which is fucking mind-blowing. Thank you to Global Mum for being so awesome. I know I released one recently. I've been waiting for the time when I bring in my algorithm back. Your support, guys, it means the absolute world. I'm going to go to bed. I love you all. Not you, Gary. Remember, stupidity is not a right. Oh yeah, poll results. I forgot about that. So I'll be making new shirts, and I'll be releasing them week by week. So the first one I'm going to release is the Something's Wrong With That Laser, because that got 39. And then I'll release the Fight the Tight shirt, and then I'll release the hashtag Not You, Gary. So thank you for deciding that, guys. Remember, stupidity's not a right. Fight the flatter. 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 Fuck you, Cheswick. This is my music. Fight the flatter.